Live.
And good evening, good morning, afternoon, and welcome to the Hump Day Chinwag, episode 32. Episode 32. How we doing, chat?
Jeez.
How we doing, panel? The panel's all over the place. Have you got a cold, Smoo?
No, I think he said
Are
no,
you
but the mic didn't.
but
pick
he's
it up.
He's muted himself.
Muted, boomer.
No, oh no.
Nope,
It was fine just
I
a
don't
minute
have
ago.
a cold.
I told you, beards up the top only. Jack, couple Jack. I'll be normal
Beards
then.
up the top.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Jack can go in my spot then.
No.
Jack can go in my spot.
I go there.
Let's rearrange this before my OCD really kicks off. There we go. No. There we
Gotta
go.
be balanced.
There we go.
Fair and balanced. That's all things should be.
Yes, that's all things are. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Episode 32. Fucking Jesus Christ. I can't believe we're on episode 32 already.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Wild.
And bearing in mind that we originally started this Chinwag weeks apart, because it was like every 2 weeks.
Yep.
And I was looking at ABF and the GCA the other day, and their Hump Day podcast is ahead of us on numbers. And I was thinking, bastards, they've done more episodes. And then I realised, hold on a minute, we actually started before they did, but we were doing it every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. I mean, the last 32 weeks of doing the Chinwag and the podcast has been absolutely fantastic, just to spend time with other like-minded individuals and Greg.
I've never really been like-minded with anyone else, so that's okay.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right.
We're
But
all a bunch of misfits here.
exactly. And as always, we usually start off the podcast going around the room, seeing how we've been over the course of the last week, catching up on a bit of individual news, and then we're going to introduce today's special guest. So, Smoothie DJ, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good, apart from losing my beard, as you can probably see between this stream and the one I did before. Started Metaphor today. Excellent game. Love it so far.
Yeah.
Going to be playing a lot more tomorrow because I'm kind of hooked on it already.
That's good.
Other than that, just breathing. I'm alive. So that's all I can say, really.
One day at a time, brother.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. Stacey, welcome back.
I know. A week off, and then I had today was a screaming 3 to 8-year-olds at a winter wonderland to see Santa. That was fun. That was fun. So I'm here to de-stress and go a lot, probably, if it happens, and then go. Got to take the piss out of the beard, haven't we? Really, a lot. So
I could just ask you to sum up the new Star Wars program, but we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that
one.
Okay.
Abe, how you doing?
No.
Bye, Abe. Yanni.
That was the biggest FU ever, wasn't it?
Oh my god!
He died.
I'm out.
I'm
It's
done.
like, fuck it.
You go.
A2, Abe. A2.
That's it. Well, Abe, we know where you stand. Block it.
He's
died.
probably tried unmuting himself.
Yeah, that's it.
He's probably
Yeah,
tried
let's go.
unmuting himself, and he's like,
Poor
"Ah,
thing.
fuck."
You give him too much responsibility. Look what
Yeah,
happened.
as soon as I
Within
give him
2
collaborator rights, he fucking shits the bed, falls back in it, and then fucks off. Bastard.
There
Oh, here he
is.
is. He's
There
back
we are.
again.
He wants
He's
to come
trying.
back in, yeah.
He's back again.
Sorry, Abe, what was that?
What the fuck is he doing? Fucking lunatic.
Oh,
Do you know what?
This is what happens when he
tempted.
watches porn at the same time. One of the hands hits the keyboard too fast.
He's just flapping one out. I'm going to take the collaborator rights off him. I think that's confusing the shit out of him.
Oh,
Give him
and we're
30
Here he
back.
comes.
Back, people.
He's
Wait
back
for it.
again.
I'm back.
Oh,
Oh, we heard
You.
we hear a northerner. No, we
Nope.
don't.
I've
Echo.
clearly missed something.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, clearly missed joining the stream 3 times. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Are you living the dream?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Ah, it's the end of the world.
You don't want to know his dreams. You don't want to know his dreams.
Do you mean daily dysfunction all the time? What do you mean?
Coming back to Wabe and just focusing on him for a second. Have you recovered from all your walking? That's the most important question.
Well, today was the first day that I could actually walk vaguely normally. Yeah.
Happy days. So
Vaguely
you're
normal.
less like
Visit
a,
from Jack.
you're less like a cowboy today. Then.
Pretty
I
much,
shall
yeah.
sit in my pickup truck.
Jack, how you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good, been hanging out on the back of my pickup truck with my hand on my hip.
Mate,
And,
do you know how many times that blurt comes up? In fact, I think
I know,
it's
it's
mostly you
beautiful.
that plays
It's the most
it.
popular one.
You fucking play it all the time.
But yeah, I'm doing all right, just been hanging out with my daughter and doing
Good.
stuff, not really streaming much at all. But yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for
Happy
asking.
days. Happy days. It's good to hear.
Right on.
It is good to hear. Yanni,
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got done with streaming earlier today, and then took a break, baked some cookies, and now I'm here, and I'm making a hat.
A baby
But
hat.
doing all right. I am. Well, I made this, so this is what I'm working on today. It's going to be an adult version of this.
Oh,
How
Okay.
cool is that?
So
Nice.
this is going to be on pineandcauldron.com, the pattern anyways. But this particular hat, this is going to go to Baby Nerd Takes.
are you making adult versions as well?
Yes, this is the pattern
They
is
are-
going to come in, or it's going to have instructions for all sizes from preemie to adult. So that's
Oh,
what I'm working on
bless.
right
My
now.
girlfriend's gonna love that.
It does look like
Aw.
Is it me?
It's
or
literally
like-
for the kids. You get him like all that crap. Like,
Is it
like,
me?
Jesus.
Or does it look like a Christmas pudding?
Christmas
It
pudding.
kind of does.
kinda,
Yeah.
does
God,
look
the
like a
lighting is
Christmas
shit.
pudding.
I'm
Down your head.
sorry. There we go.
Well, you're
No,
right.
no, no. It's fantastic. I fucking
But-
love it.
Thank you.
And I think
premiere.
seeing the family nerd takes wearing matching woolly hats is just going to be fantastic.
Yanni,
Right.
can I ask? Sorry, can I ask? Do you do smaller sizes for Tombi?
Yeah,
It's
I
never
did
gonna
say
work.
preemie.
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah.
Do you realise how big my fucking head is?
Yeah, but to normal
bless him.
people,
Right.
you're literally like a pinhead.
No.
Yeah,
I
You mean
did,
normal
I did
people.
make Tommy
This
a hat.
is
It
the
fits him well.
start of the
Yes.
Willy Warmer range.
My hat's
It
down
just-
here, actually. 2
But
seconds.
the issue is that it's a material that like Velcro to his head.
Yeah, and I must admit, every time I do put it on, it kind of like it's a fucking sod to get off. But there's
yeah,
my
I
hat.
bet. I'm so sorry.
Fuck your face.
On brand.
Exactly. Fuck your face.
Right.
And the only reason why it's not hanging there at the minute is because I've got
no
a Christmas tree.
Yay! Christmas tree.
So,
Right.
Christmas trees come first.
Christmases. Because apparently there's Christmas coming up and all good
What?
wishes and season of goodwill and all that bollocks.
That's
Balls.
right.
Decorations up.
Balls. Right, I'm trying to get
Balls.
the Christmas tree in view, but freaking camera keeps on bloody recentering itself. Fuck off, bastard. There we go.
You had to get a camera that recenters itself, so
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I had to
and,
get it.
and now you're complaining about it doing why you bought it.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's a bloody good camera. It's a fucking phenomenal camera. It just every now and again it just decides to do its own fucking thing that I told it to do. So bastard thing. Like a fucking
Imagine that.
How
wish it
dare
would
you?
make
How
me a
dare
suit.
you work as intended?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a shame Ubisoft doesn't do it. But Kadath, how you doing?
So, still gaming related injuries, but it is getting better slowly. I went to the
Hold on a
osteopath
minute.
yesterday.
Hold on a minute. What the fuck? What's that on your arm?
This. It's for tennis elbows. One of these.
Wanking accident.
That's
Can
a
you
wanking
remember-
support.
Excellent.
I'm not sure if you picked up on it when I said it a few weeks ago. When I said there's carpal tunnel and then you've got Gudgeon's tunnel, which is your elbow.
Yeah, probably got
Yeah.
one. Well, I've had tendonitis all the way up my arm, right the way up here.
Yeah.
I went to the osteopath, and she was like doing things in my neck, and it felt like I had petrol on my arm, all over my arm, and it had been set on fire. That was nice.
That's the same thing I get, mate.
But it's getting better slowly, apart from these two fingers, which I can't feel.
Yeah, and the problem is the two fingers. So when I had the injury, yes, we're talking about Spocking at the minute. When we're talking about the outside two fingers, that's running down the ulnar nerve and the ulnar side, and that's the reason why I've got like a big massive scar down this
Oh
arm
shit.
because they had to chop a massive lump of bone out because
my God.
the damage
The other two.
in my wrist was fucked. But yeah, those fingers are fine.
That's what she said.
That's what she is.
Hey, oh,
Harry
Well, there's
Enema,
enough
how you
of them.
doing?
You already know I had fun this week.
I know you have.
I had so much fun this week. Like, what the fuck?
Makes fun.
Amazing.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Gee, I wonder
amazing.
why.
Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, we even I even discovered something smooth that I have not sent you, but I have sent Tommy already, and we were both like, wait, what?
Yep.
What is What year is it? Like, what's happening to the world?
Yeah,
It's current fucking year. That's what it is.
Oh no! You
No,
will be
this
amazed
is-
when we bring it up.
Okay.
As soon as this comes up, you'll be like, nah.
Wait, what? Nah,
What?
that's
No.
a lie.
Surely not.
That's
Bollocks.
a lie.
Oh, someone's left.
Babe. Oh yeah.
No, it's Jack.
No,
Yep,
bye,
it's not
Jack.
me this
Oh,
time.
hi, Jack.
Oh,
Bye,
hello.
Jack.
He's back.
What the
What the
fuck
fuck's
is going on?
What
He's
is-
pulling
what
a me.
is- Yeah,
He's,
What?
he's,
I
he's,
feel like
pu-
we're
he's
gonna take
pulling.
turns.
He's pulling you off. What?
what
He's pulling in and out.
Abe. Right. Okay. We are fucking 20 minutes in. This is amazing.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jack? Are you
So
back?
professional.
Are you back? Are you
No.
back? Okay. Cool.
No.
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 Say that in your cowboy voice.
No.
And clipped.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Because he likes to eat people from other planets.
You know what? I was actually going to play that soundboard, and I realised that button doesn't work because for some strange reason it didn't convert very well. But I do have Zoop on my soundboard, and yeah, I need to fix it.
You got soup on your soundboard. What?
Zoop. Zoop. I know you're
might be the issue.
German. I know you're German, and fucking speaking to English is quite hard. But Zoop. Fucking Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
It's not hard.
The only
This is
thing-
what
the only thing I will
aliens
say-
call jizz.
That's not carpaccio soup.
Pretty sure Smith speaks better English than
That's not
Disgusting.
mayonnaise. The only thing I'll say, for our German friends is you speak a hell of a lot better English than I speak German.
well,
You're
And
just-
English.
And English.
Easy.
I mean, English as well.
Yeah, you speak better English than I do.
But
Hey,
someone-
on default, we also have bigger hands than you.
well, that's not fucking hard, is it? I'm like a fucking hobbit.
Like specifically me.
Hold on.
Well, you have.
Snooze holding up his hand as if to say that's bollocks. He looks like he's got
I've got tiny hands.
He's got
I've got
tiny
tiny
hands.
hands.
Yeah, but you work in the medical field. For you, that's
What?
actually a good thing.
It doesn't look like you do.
You can put
Depends.
both hands in and clap.
I didn't realise this was a fisting stream. What's going on?
Mate, this is
Welcome to Pornhub.
This is how
we
these
just started.
streams usually devolve pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think I might be on the wrong channel.
No. That's
no, you are.
These are just the intros.
These are just the intros. Just
These are just
welcome.
intros.
Welcome to the fun. And with that, let's introduce the man of the hour, Lance. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. Shall I put my camera on?
It's up to you if you want to scare
It's
people.
up to you.
Well, you know, I like to make a good first impression. So,
Are they LED
Yeah.
light up glasses?
yeah.
That's
Fuck.
amazing.
I need some of them.
Yeah,
Because
they
I've
remind me
got,
of these
I've got a
glasses as you said
DJ
as a
above
kid.
me, so I represent the dance floor. So I thought I ought to, you know, have some. You know what I mean?
Wait, Abe, Hanayama, do Sandstorm. Ready, go.
no.
Yeah!
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Fucking Sandstorm.
Right, because Yanni, you still need to learn this lesson. But if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Dude, I will
But-
pay you guys to do that.
That's amazing.
Thank you for having me on.
No, I was just about to say to be coming back onto the topic. Obviously, Lance, thank you very much indeed for joining this evening. And obviously, the invite usually goes out to quite a few people on this, and people can come and go as they please. But it was actually quite important to get Lance on today because Lance has got some really good news with regards to stuff that he's been doing out in the interwebs.
I have a book
Nice.
out which has just dropped today. Here it is. Critical Drinker did the forward. Some of you may have heard of him. And it's basically my whole life at the movies from 1974 until 2024. There's over 101 plus movies, and it's not a movie review book. It's about where I saw the film, who I saw the movie with, what the cinema was like, what the people were like, what the reaction to the movie was from the public, and then it's also about the time that films steal from your life. So, for example, if you're a Star Wars fan and you ended up going to Star Wars conventions as a result of seeing Star Wars, and then you bought loads of Star Wars toys, that's Star Wars taking time from your life, right? So I talk about the movies that have stolen time from my life at great length. And then also, because I work in the film industry, this is also a kind of a journal about how that all happened and the films that influenced me to becoming a scriptwriter and a director and a playwright and all that kind of thing. And there's also a few photos in here. So yeah, it's kind of a journal about, you know, the films I was passionate about and the films that impacted me, why, and so on. It's quite personal. And yeah, so Drinker was the first person to get a copy of it a while back, and yeah, he was gracious enough to do the forward for me, which is very kind.
That's lovely.
So
Cool stuff.
I'm trying to get 100 reviews on Amazon by New Year's Day, so I'd really appreciate people's support. If you don't know what my YouTube channel is, it's all about supporting creative people. That's what I do. So on this one, I kind of need people to return the favor. And if you do buy a copy of the book and you happen to come to the London meetup on the 20th of December, I will sign it for you. So bring it along.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think anybody who's got a passion for films is going to find it interesting. You'll relate to it because, to give you an example, it's got the first film that I saw with my parents, right? The last film that I saw with my parents, the last film that I saw with my dad, the first film that I ever saw with my first girlfriend is in there. You know, the last film that I saw with my ex-partner is in there. So all those kind of milestones in your life, if you've been going to the movies as much as I have, there's usually a film connected to all those things. And so, you know, it's about all of those moments. It's about all of those memories and why they're special, as well as some really heartbreaking ones as well. And, you know, some films, it's like sad songs become attached to certain moments in your life. Well, this is the same for me with movies. It always has been. Different movies are attached to very specific memories or people. So I don't think anybody's quite written a book quite like this before, but I think a lot of you, if you're as passionate about films as I am, you're going to relate to it because everybody remembers the first movie they saw at the cinema. Everybody remembers the first time their parents took them. This has got all that stuff in there and more, basically.
Can hear you typing smooth, by the way.
What's that? Oh,
that's all right.
No, just we could hear you typing. That was all.
Oh, that's all right. He's the DJ though.
He is a DJ.
DJ. He's got to adjust the sound levels and stuff.
So
I don't know what's up with your mic today, Smoo. You're coming in super hot, and I think the gate's not working either. We can hear everything that's extra. Your voice, the mouse click, keyboard, your breathing.
Yeah, that's too much.
The Germanisms. No, you're all good. You're all good. Don't stress too much over it. Now, obviously, I've because I'm quite interested in movies. I'm very particularly interested in obviously your journey through movies because obviously being a director and being involved in the trade as well. For me, because I've never had kind of like any view into it to see what's going on behind the curtain. Seen plenty of movies. In fact, I've seen so many movies. It's crazy. But I never got the opportunity to see many things in theatre because as a child we were moving around quite a lot because of the armed forces. So I missed out on that opportunity. So I've picked up the book because I want to experience that from certainly from your perspective. And there's many films throughout my life that have obviously I fondly remember. One of the things that I mostly remember about films and what ties me to films is usually the music.
I talk about that quite a bit actually in the book. I've got so many film soundtracks. I've got 200 vinyls in a box behind me.
Oh wow!
And I talk about the music quite a bit. I just had a conversation with Bruce Brofton actually, who he did the score for Silverado. He did Young Sherlock Holmes and a whole load of others. Because I wrote to him because I talk about him in the book. And one of the first films I saw up in Leicester Square, which is in the 80s, if you went to Leicester Square to see a movie as opposed to your local town,
Yeah.
you might see a movie for the first time in 70mm with a proper surround sound system, not like the one you've got back in Kingston where I was from. So I'd never seen a film in 70mm before. So that opening sequence of Silverado, which, by the way, has got one of the best sound mixes of any film ever, if you watch that movie in a proper, really good sound system cinema, it just those first gunshots just like blow you away. And I couldn't believe the difference between watching a film in the Odeon West End Leicester Square as opposed to Screen One of my local back home. It was a completely different experience. So I write about all of that, and then after that I was going to Leicester Square every week to see a movie, because for me it was 2 notches above the experience of seeing a film back at my local, which I ended up working at. So I also talk about that. I mean, I was at the very first UK screening of Aliens. I was at the very first UK screening of Die Hard. I took 20 people to see the opening night of Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble.
You know, all of these stories are all in there.
Nice.
Because I would do a birthday trip every year. I took 40 people to see the opening night of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in a cinema that had just been rebuilt, that had a laser show in the cinema before the film started. No one knew it was coming because the cinema had just been redone. It's Empire Screen 1. You can see the laser show. It's on YouTube. And Empire Screen 1 after that became my favourite cinema. And the reason 40 of us went was because I couldn't make my graduation ball at film school because I was working. I was like, sod this. So I organised my own graduation ball with everybody from my course, except we were all going to see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And everybody, by the way, said the graduation ball sucked. No one talks about that. They all talk about the time we all went up to see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So that's all in there. You know, it's stories like that. I do talk about the films themselves a bit, but it's not I'm not scoring them out of 10 or anything like that, like we do on the Nielsen ratings. It's more about the journey of seeing these things.
Yeah, and for me, I'm particularly interested to hear, or certainly to read. So when it comes and when it gets delivered, I'm particularly interested to understand how these films have kind of like shaped who you were when you were a child through to being an adult. I mean,
totally.
Yanni knows this as much as anybody, that I listen to all types of music, and probably if I'm not on stream and I'm not working, all you'll ever find me do is going through music, and it can be anything from film scores, the soundtracks, you name it, and film music for me really tied me to films in many ways, and certainly I get a lot of enjoyment out of a good motion picture score. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and you were right, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody come up with this kind of an idea before of how the journey through the silver screen has basically gone on for them. And I know obviously because we talk and I've seen the ticket stubs, but you've got a mountain of ticket stubs.
Oh, yeah, do you want to see them?
Yeah,
I'll
bring
put them
them
in
up,
a box
please.
behind me.
Because this to me was one of the things that, do you know what? It's absolutely pure genius to do, but it's not something that's within my gift to have had the skill or foresight to do. But Lance is obviously he's going to bring them up. Has been collecting all of the film stubs from all of the trips to the cinema that he's ever gone to.
Yeah,
because each one of those.
These go right back to 1987.
Wow.
And there is literally a box. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, hang on, I need to put my camera.
I
didn't realise I'd switched my camera off. Sorry. Right.
You're all right.
So here we go.
Oh,
this
wow.
box is literally full of them. So if I can...
Damn.
I'll pull out some of them at random. So, I mean, here's just like a massive bunch right here. I've got all the ones from Last Crusade in here. So, for example, this is Willow. Now, this is Willow on re-release in 1993. And the reason I went to see it there at the Odeon Marble Arch was because that was, at the time, the biggest cinema in the UK with the biggest screen. It was huge. And they did a season of 70mm presentations. and I saw Lawrence of Arabia for the first time as part of that presentation. Here is Total Recall.
Price on that ticket as well.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, look at that, £2.75 in 1990. Jesus Christ, the last one was £6.
I saw Total Recall at Odeon Marble Arch. That's where I also saw Aliens.
£5.
And that cinema doesn't exist anymore. This is the opening night of Dead Poets Society, which I also talk about, 1989. Again, that cinema also doesn't exist anymore. The Odeon Haymarket. Directors used to love having their films premiere there because it was always the slightly more intellectual films that got premiered there. Dead Calm, Warner West End, Leicester Square. There you go. Star Trek 6, Undiscovered Country. I took everybody to see that for my birthday. So it's another one. I mean, I've got.
There's such a massive amount of history here.
One stack. There's literally over 1,000 tickets in here.
That is so cool.
Oh, there we go. Indiana Jones 3. That's on the Saturday. That's the second time I went with my dad. I took my dad to see it, as well as going on the Wednesday, and then we went back on the Saturday to see it. So, it's just there's so many of these in here. Lethal Weapon 2.
Yes.
I've got the tickets for Lethal Weapon in here.
And the thing to think about this chat is each one of these is a film of hours of which you take time to get to the cinema, time to sort yourself out, your popcorn and everything else. This is such a massive investment into films and the medium. It's fantastic to see.
This is the very first screening of Candyman in the UK. And you see this is the National Film Theatre. So that's actually part of the London Film Festival. So that would have been probably about 6 months before it was actually released.
Yeah, it's before it gets released, doesn't it?
Look at this. Ritz Video membership card.
The local video card.
Very first screening of Reservoir Dogs. I was there. So was Quentin Tarantino, where we got to remark that we had the same chin,
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Yeah, I get told that all the time, and I've met him twice. And the second time, there was some joke about maybe we had the same milkman, This was particularly Arachnophobia, Odeon Leicester Square. That's where Odeon Leicester Square is where most of the big premieres happen. The last premiere I went to was June because my friend Sharon Duncan Brewster played Dr. Kynes in June.
Yeah.
So I was part of her party. And she was great. She introduced me to Denis Villeneuve as I was leaving. And I ended up having a whole massive conversation with him about David Lynch's Dune. That story is also in the book. So
amazing.
Cool stuff.
I also dug out for you. I just cracked open one of the boxes. Here you go. Vinyl soundtracks.
Mate.
Extreme
Prejudice.
Right? Hang on. I've got loads here. So this is just from one box. Total Recall.
Oh, yes. Steve in chat actually mentioned about the music from that.
One of the few good canon films, the Invaders from Mars remake. Really good movie from Tube Hooper, who directed Chainsaw Massacre. If you haven't seen it, this one's extremely rare. Vinyl soundtrack to A Bridge Too Far. This is one of my favourite scores of all time. Cocoon, James Horner, who's my favourite composer.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking of June. There you go, June.
Excellent.
Oh, a German copy.
This is a great one. Star Trek 3, Search for Spock, but it opens up with that.
Mate.
That's sweet.
You guys, you might want to put towels under your seats. I've got more stuff.
Mate, we're going to start splashing.
Damn it.
We're going to start splashing.
So Empire Strikes Back, original vinyl soundtrack. Double album. Opens up also
there is a literal treasure trove in your room right now, isn't there?
I've also got Star Wars, also a double album. Yes. And I've got the entire collection of John Carpenter, Escape from New York.
Escape from LA.
Prince
of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness is one of my favourite horror movies.
It's a really good movie. Yeah, that was when he went back to basics and he really reined it in, and he he did the stuff he knew how to do. You know,
It's really suspenseful, but really intelligent and scientific plot.
That's what I want.
Trouble in Little
This is
China.
the
That's what I love that
American. This is
movie.
the American import of the vinyl for Big Trouble. The British vinyl was different. It had the green poster on the front.
Yeah.
I bought 3 of them in a row, and all 3 of them were damaged. So the guys at the store said, "Just take the American one. We'll give you the same price." So that's how I ended up with the American.
Oh, score.
Christine,
Love it.
Movie.
Starman. Then this one, this is They Live, right?
Oh,
if you look closely, it is signed by Roddy Piper.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah, and if you look at this, okay, prepare to laugh. There I am with him on the back when he signed it.
Hey, fuck yeah!
Wow.
With my super
That's
long
awesome.
blonde hair that went down to my bum.
Oh, amazing.
And I got the fog. Okay, yeah, I don't know how this one got in there. I'm sorry, that must be somebody else's. Best
The
of
best
Luke.
little house.
That's very
Your
nice.
wife's collection, isn't it? Just slipped in there.
Delta Force,
Oh,
Enemy Mine,
Oh, I
Close
love
Encounters
that.
of the Third Kind, which is also another one that,
Opens up.
and that's just, guys, that's just from one box. I've got 3 boxes of these.
Mate, what the hell?
that's a treasure
I
trove
do
of
miss
stuff,
those.
man.
Those
So, I
old
mean, you
vinyl
can see how
covers.
passionate I am about films
About
just from
film,
that.
yeah.
I see it. I can see it.
I think actually I must do a stream about my vinyl collection sometime. I will do.
Yeah,
I
sure
think I'll
do.
do a dedicated stream about it.
But
You
you
know,
just
I
get
don't have a
shorts.
vinyl player.
I was just about to say what you need to do is get a vinyl player hooked up to your PC so that obviously you can play it and then it goes out over on the stream. Obviously, copyrights notwithstanding.
I think I might have to do a GoFundMe in order to get a decent vinyl player because I've looked into it and it's not worth it unless you get a good one, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I've kind of like lived and breathed film all my life. I think that the really difficult thing for me, and I talk about it in the book a little bit, not a huge amount, is that my dream film project, which would have premiered in 2018. Tomby knows a little bit about this story. We got into bed with these bogus producers, and they basically ripped us off. They stole our investors. They would have got 3% of our budget with what the contract was with us, but instead of that, they went behind our back, stole our investor, and they raised £3.5 million through that investor. And these 2 guys took £750,000 each, plus their expenses came to 2.1 million. That's how much of the budget they took for themselves.
Yeah.
And so we were ended up holding the ball, and we were all ready to go. And suddenly we had no budget and no film. And that movie would have been the Pegasus Bridge film, which anybody who followed the Facebook page or was even vaguely interested in World War II,
Yeah.
you guys would have heard about it. I've got a poster for it somewhere. Yeah, suddenly it wasn't happening. And that film would have premiered on the 75th anniversary of D-Day on the bridge in Normandy. And I interviewed 15 of the veterans, and they were all waiting for that film to come out. At the end of every interview that I did with them, well, is there anything else you want to say? Yeah, bloody hurry up, because I'm going to be dead soon. That's what they all said to me. And then the next thing we knew, we'd been ripped off. We didn't have the money. We tried to raise it elsewhere. It didn't happen. The film went into turnaround, what's called into turnaround in the industry. And that was it. And it was my face all over it. So it was perceived as my failure. Totally destroyed my career. Ruined my marriage. Just the implications of that were terrible. So that the whole reason I ended up starting the YouTube thing was because of to sort of get a grip on just something to focus on.
Yeah,
because I was such a mess after that, and I was coming out the other side of that when I met Will. That was when I wrote to him about various things that were going on in the film industry just after he did his Ghostbusters video. So that's how we kind of met. It was more sort of off YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what derailed my whole career. And I went back into directing theatre and did the play about the post office scandal instead, which was a very noble thing to do and was on 3 years before the TV drama. So it's just a bit of background there. But if that film had gone ahead, my career would have gone off like a rocket, because it would have been coming off the back of Dunkirk. World War II films were kind of back in vogue.
We're back in, yeah.
Yep.
And we had an amazing cast lined up for it, all the locations. We were good to go, you know. And then suddenly those guys did what they did, and Christ. And you know, every single one of those veterans are dead now.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to their families, who we'd been talking to for 3 years, that the film was not happening. That's the reality of the industry I work in. That's the kind of things that people do to each other.
It's quite brutal, isn't it?
And it goes on all the time. That these guys did
horrible.
the same thing to the director before me, and the same thing to the director before him, who tried to kill himself, and the one before him is in a mental institution. And none of them work in the industry anymore. 2 of them left it for good. I think one of them is still kind of in and out. And yeah, terrible. You know, more for me for not finding out more about them before we got into
Well,
bed.
what happened to the investors then? Or what has happened to them? What repercussions have they faced?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not in touch with the guy. There was one main guy who was bringing in several million for us, and he was the key guy. And that was the guy they got their hooks into and cut us out of the communications link. And this was a British businessman based in the Far East who had lots of various companies and things, and he had surplus cash, and he was quite into World War II. And he came through DJ Danny Rampling. That's how that.
Oh yeah.
That's how that all got set up for us. Who's an ex-para.
Yeah, he is.
And I went and found that guy because we realised they weren't going to do anything. They got into a contract with us, and then we realised they weren't going to raise any money for the film. And they were just scammers, basically.
Did these arseholes get named and shamed?
I can't do that. But
Okay.
You're not allowed.
No, as in, did they get named and shamed?
no, but everybody knows
okay.
who they are in the
Okay.
industry. Yeah, but I can't go public about that. I mean, the worst thing about the whole thing was it wasn't just them. They got their hooks into one of my own guys who was on our team, who was the guy that was supposed to look after our contracts.
Yeah.
Which is how they were able to get away. One of them invested some money in his son's energy bar, whatever. And I found out they set up that production company with him before Pegasus Bridge Limited was even formed at Company's House. So they
That's insane.
they got him in their pocket from day one.
Wow.
And it was. I mean, sorry,
That's
we've gone
some
off on a right rabbit
shit,
hole
isn't
here,
it?
but yeah, that's what happened, and it honestly, it's just changed the trajectory of my whole life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No kidding.
Stops me from having kids. I mean, you know, this is a huge ramification. You know, like
Yeah.
we were about to have a kid. That was our plan. It was like get a mortgage, have a kid. Suddenly, we had no financial stability. Our life was a mess. I'd worked on that film for 3 years full time. Imagine doing that, a full time job for 3 years, and then
Yeah.
Take
someone
a
comes
punch in the
along.
face like that.
Yeah, when you read the book, you'll see quite early on that I watched The Longest Day and I watched Bridge Too Far quite early, and I was very emotionally invested in these topics. So to go through that whole narrative in my life, to sort of be on the poise of doing the film that you always dreamt of making, and then to have these guys come along and fuck it up like that. Sorry, excuse my French, but
No, you're right.
No, you're
I mean,
good.
the thing is, you're getting a lot of sympathy, Lance, and a lot of commiserations from the chat, because obviously this has derailed such a massive portion of your life.
yeah.
But certainly from my perspective, I'm just glad you were able to get into the YouTube to kind of like give you some of that stability that you needed.
I can't even tell you what a lifesaver YouTube has been for
Yeah.
me. I mean, I don't want to get too personal, but there were a couple of, let's just say, very close calls where I nearly did something very stupid, and which I wouldn't have been here talking now if that had happened.
Yeah.
And one of the things that sort of got me kind of refocused was this whole YouTube thing. I never thought I would be any good at it. I didn't think I'd sort of have anything to contribute, which I mean, I know now is stupid. Of course, I've got quite a unique perspective on films,
100%.
films from both sides. But you know, when I looked at YouTube, it was all women doing exercise videos and people that looked very glamorous and
Or knitting.
kind of thing. And I wasn't really looking at the film reviewers. I just would sort of see it and go, oh yeah, cool. People have kind of edited some cool videos and whatnot. But I didn't have time really to edit loads of videos, which is why I don't do loads of videos. But then, you know, it was actually my ex-wife that said to me, you know, you'd be really good at it. You should. And she said this to me like back in 2016, something, and I was like, no. And I did suggest to her that we should have done it together. We would have been one of those kind of like crazy YouTube couples. But anyway, she was right. I should have done it when she said, and I would have been in on it very early on. But hey, I'm doing it now, and I love it. And look at the guests that I've had on. I've had Gail Ann Hurd on my channel. You know, I've had Ron Underwood on, who directed Tremors. I've had all of the crew from 2000 AD. You know, the people that were running it during the golden era, they've all been on. So it's been quite handy. The contacts I've had, I've been able to get amazing people on the channel, and I love collaborating. I love collaborating with other YouTubers. I've invited Stasis Geek on about 20 times. He still hasn't come on. So I mean, obviously, some people are above.
Probably because he's
above me.
I'm not being invited.
But
I'm happy to though.
No, but you listen. You're to the entire panel. You're welcome on my channel anytime. So just let you know if I'm ever doing a stream about something that interests you. Just get in touch with me. I like collaborating with other YouTubers. I've always been a collaborator, and now the focus of the channel is very much about promoting the work of other creative people. That's something that I've always done, hence Outcast Creative. So, you know, if there's somebody watching now that's got a book coming out on Amazon soon, or you're designing your own board game and you're going to drop it on Kickstarter in a couple of months, or anything like that I can help you promote, if I can see you're working on a project and you're passionate about it, like you can tell I'm passionate about certain things, I'll get you on and I'll promote the fuck out of it. Absolutely, no problem. Get in touch with me via the Outcast Facebook page or Lance Nilsson WD on Twitter, and I'll get you on and we'll talk about, you know, whatever it is that whatever creative. It's got to have a creative element, basically, but that covers a very wide spectrum of things: music, games, books, films, plays. You know, creative is a very wide arena. Yeah. Sorry, am I talking too much?
No.
This is not at all.
This is the whole point. This is the whole point. We just dropped the link into chat as well. I'm actually going to pin it in the YouTube chat on my side. The other thing as well. Yeah, cheers, Smoo. Much appreciated. The other thing as well, guys, in the description at the top, you'll find Lance's links, YouTube, Twitter, over on Facebook as well. Make sure you drop in. Make sure you give some support, because he's a sterling gent, and he's got such a unique view on the things that we often take for granted, which is films, TV, movies, and entertainment. You get a good peek behind the curtain when you jump into Lance's streams, and I've been privileged enough to jump on some of Lance's streams with him. So
yeah,
and also he's the only person in the panel that I can understand the accent.
Oh well,
this lot, I ain't got a clue what they sound like.
I'm glad I have that unique ability. That's what
did you say, Stasis?
Southerners
we can make it out.
I mean,
I can barely understand Stasis, so
exactly.
Incidentally, if people want to read the Pegasus Bridge script, what I did was, when the film went tits up, as soon as I got the rights back, I published it. So it's actually on Amazon. You can buy it. And so are the first 6 scripts of the Paratrooper TV series that nearly got made about 5 times. That's like the European equivalent of Band of Brothers.
Yep.
So there's a German episode, which is all told from a German Fallschirmjäger's point of view, but that links into another episode in the show. You know, so it's all about the European airborne forces, and every episode is about a different true story. And that's gone all the way to the top of about 3 different platforms. And every time we think, oh, it's going to be a yes, and then we don't get it. I could tell you 30 stories about the film or TV shows that didn't get made, that have gone all the way to the top. And every time it was, you know, everyone's going to everyone's excited. Lance, we're going to make this. And it's like, yeah, okay, I heard that before. Let's see. And
general resistance to World War II content, or
no, I'll give you another example. So I don't know if you guys know the actor Craig Fairbrass, but me and him worked together several times. He was the British bad guy in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
Cliffhanger, yeah.
And he's been in things like Rise of the Foot Soldier. Me and him are doing a script at the minute, but we wrote a script together in lockdown. One of the many I wrote in lockdown called Second Skin. And it's basically a British version of The Shield. So if you've seen The Shield with Michael Chiklis, it's about a corrupt British police officer who chases this guy into a building in the first episode. The guy goes to kill himself. He's standing on the edge of a balcony on a tower block. And then he changes his mind and he slips, and Craig's character has got him. And he's pulling him back in and he says, "Did you kill Rabina? Did you kill your daughter?" And the guy hesitates to reply, and he can see that he did, so he throws him off. He kills him. That's what happens in the pilot. So this guy's a bad guy. It's one of the best pilots I've ever written. Got a massive twist at the end of the first episode. It went all the way to the top of Amazon. Everybody said it was going to be a yes. So we're waiting for the green light on it because everyone says we're going to make a decision next week. Next week was the week that Sarah Everhard got kidnapped by that police officer from Clapham Common.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say that word, can I? She got assaulted and murdered.
Minecraft
and
unalived.
Literally within days of that becoming public, our project was dead. No one wanted to make a TV show about a corrupt white British police officer when a corrupt white British police officer had just killed an innocent young woman.
Yeah.
So that project was
unfortunate timing.
It was very unfortunate, and it's a shame because it's a great show, because it's one of those things where you want that same moral dichotomy as The Shield. You want this guy in your corner. This is the guy you want working on your case, but his moral compass is very distorted. What he thinks is right and wrong doesn't necessarily align with the law. So that was a project that different things can go wrong at different times. I think World War II, we've had quite a few good things that have been made in that era. So, I mean, the Paratrooper TV show, I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. This is a pitch deck for somebody like Netflix. So this is a physical one, which you don't get to see very often these days. Most people do them electronically. So the pilot of Paratrooper is about the first black paratrooper in the British Army. He jumped into D-Day on Normandy. He fought near Pegasus Bridge. He was a minor character in the other film. That's how I know about him. So we did a whole pitch deck for this. In fact, we have a trailer for this. We have footage that we shot for a battle sequence. It's just second unit footage, and I filmed it before the tanks got sold to America. So, and in here you've got a breakdown of all the episodes for season 1, the various characters. So these are real pictures of the real people. Or equivalent, and then you have all the actors that you have attached, and one of the actors that I had attached was my friend Sharon, who played Dr. Kynes in June. So if you go to the cast section, which is here, you'll see she's there she is, and then you've got Will Johnson from Game of Thrones, who's been interviewed on my channel, Tim Bensick, who's also done an interview. My usual collaborator, Jason Fleming, is in there. Danny Webb from Alien 3. Phil Davis, who was also in Alien 3, and so on. So this is the sort of thing you have to put together. And we had not only that, but we also shot loads of footage for it. There was a massive airborne drop on the 75th anniversary. We went to Normandy. We filmed it. All with period correct Dakotas. I think they had 15 of them. And it was brilliant. It was an overcast day, so that means that you can use all of that footage for either daytime or nighttime because there was no sun. We've got 2 hours of airborne jumps with people in all the correct costumes jumping out of these planes, including some people who had cameras in the planes for us. So if I ever get to shoot this show, the thing that cost the most money in Bridge Too Far, which was the 2 jumps that they did with 3,000 extras, I don't have to pay for any of that because I've already got it in the can. And I can just take the footage that we've got and I can replicate it into thousands of planes and thousands of people. And we've got them from about 5 different angles, 3 different cameras. We got all of that in the bag for 2K. So
do you have to? Obviously, that's a live event that you've recorded. Do you have to cover any form of royalties to anybody or pay anybody for that?
The people that were organising the event gave us permission, and I've got it in writing for them to film. And because all the people that are taking part in that event, and because we can't see the faces of any of the people that are taking part, I don't have to get releases from any of those individuals.
So that's a win-win-win.
Yeah,
really
so
is.
we got a release from the event, and that covers it from a legal perspective. Very clever at kind of getting hold of that stuff and making it go far. I know every living history group in the UK. I know everybody who owns a German tank, everybody who owns a British tank, all of that stuff. And we had access to all of that for the film.
I wouldn't mind owning a British tank. I will say.
It's less fun than you would think.
Driveway. That'd be fantastic. Just have it on the driveway.
I don't know. Are you able to? If I put a video up, are you able to share it?
There's a way for you just to send me the link and just ping it to me in Twitter, or is it online?
It's not a link online. It's an actual. Because I could show you guys something.
Yeah, you should have the share video button.
Hang on. I've got a gazillion windows open here.
Yeah, it's all good.
Let me close some things, but I'll see if I can show you a bit of the. So what we did was we shot a tank battle, this sort of tank thing, second unit. We got a load. We did a Kickstarter. We raised about 10 grand, which was not a lot of money. This was for Paratrooper. This wasn't for Pegasus Bridge. We were basically what we were doing was putting together what was called a proof of concept trailer, and and so we knocked all of that up, and used it for Netflix and people like that to say, look, this is what it is, and here's some second unit footage that we shot, and we had to shoot one scene because these tanks were being sold off to a collector in the United States. So that's what happened. And now this might have some music on it that's could be a copyright issue.
Don't worry. Don't worry about
Don't worry about that.
Well, to be honest, 9 times out of 10 we don't monetize the video anyway.
Right.
We usually get silenced pretty quickly.
Okay. So also on here, I've also got the concept trailer for. We did a teaser trailer for Pegasus Bridge, which has got it's got Simon Pegg's younger brother in it, Mike Beckenham. Hang on, let me just turn this down. And
are you sharing a screen, by the way?
No, I'm just I'm just queuing it up.
Cool.
I'm just rambling while I'm queuing it up.
No, you're right.
Okay, I've got it. I've got it.
So, I just didn't want to accidentally miss it and not see it.
No, so right, where am I sharing? How do I do this?
So down the bottom of the screen, there should be a share screen or a share video button.
A screen with an up arrow.
I see. Yeah. Share video.
Share video.
Or share screen.
Share video.
Let me do. Hang on.
Or if it's in a browser, it would have to be a share screen.
I got it. How's
got
that?
It. Yeah, got it.
That looks good.
Right, can you? I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but let me pump the volume up. This is Danny Webb from Alien 3 narrating this, by the way.
There's no audio coming through.
Oh, there we go.
So, yeah.
Because D Company is being assigned to carry out one of the most important tasks on D-Day.
That's Simon Pegg's younger brother right there.
Yeah. Is that the music to Man of Steel?
It is.
Thought it was.
500 yards apart in a coup de main assault in 6 gliders. You will land at night and hold them until relieved. The main threat to you is the 21st Panzer Division. taken a beating, but they're an elite unit, well armed, with self-propelled guns, tanks, and plenty of artillery. If they counterattack straight away, you can expect a lot of casualties. Do you ever get that feeling? What's that? You might not make it back. Yes, then that goes into a narrative with Jason Fleming talking about the show and goes on for a bit. And but that was the original kind of, this is what Pegasus Bridge will be. None of those shots are from the film. So that was us basically we got, I think it was $7,000 all of that was shot for. And all of that was shot for $7,000 in 2 days. All of that.
See, that's quality right there, though. Because
shit.
Yeah, imagine what I could do with a real budget, you know.
That's the thing, though. We all look at the success that Godzilla -1 had for such a modest budget. It did absolutely phenomenal, and considering that came together for $7,000 in a couple of days, obviously there must have been some
there was a lot
work
of planning.
ahead. Planning.
A lot of planning. But 2 days of shooting. And my DOP on that, by the way, was Alfie Biddle. He is son of Adrian Biddle, who DOP'd what? Anyone for 5 points? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
Bueller? Anybody?
Adrian Biddle's first DOP job was Aliens.
It was Aliens.
Yeah. So I had the son of the DOP of Aliens shooting my trailer for me, which was pretty cool.
Crazy. But he did
in the family.
Yeah, he did a load of other things as well. V for Green Road, loads of things.
Yeah. Adrian shot quite a lot. Sadly, died quite young of a heart attack. I didn't even know that Alfie was his son until me and him. We just drove to France to get some shots of the bridge and shot that bit with the tower exploding with the guy turning round. And we did all that on our own, just me and him. And then all the other stuff was all shot in the UK. And we're driving down and we were talking about our dads, and we'd both lost our dads. I was saying, so what did your dad do? Oh, yeah, he was a DOP. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Did he do anything I would have heard of? Aliens, Thelma and Louise.
Rattles it off.
And I was sitting there going,
say what?
Yeah, I think I might have heard of those. Apparently, I was the only one on my unit that didn't know who his dad was. Everybody else knew, but no one told me. I felt like a proper tit, you know.
So, Lance, conscious of time, and it's basically 9:05 because you've got to bounce.
I'm streaming at 1:15. I'm enjoying being on here. This is loads of fun.
You're more than welcome at any time to come on. Just drop me a line if we're live. Just jump in anytime. Open invite. But a question from Rick: did you Foleyed the gunfire, or was it all recorded it live?
We recorded the gunshots on the set and then remixed all of that in post. Can I show you something else real quick?
Yeah, of course you can. Go for it.
Let me do the share screen again. So Paratrooper, we did the same thing, right? But this time we actually had to shoot a scene because the tanks were going. So we raised enough money to shoot most of this sequence, not all the shots. Just keep in mind this isn't properly mixed or anything like that. This is the Germans' last attempt to try and recapture Pegasus Bridge. So what actually happened in reality was they were pushing towards the bridge with a couple of tanks,
and they were nearly there. They were only about 500 yards away, and this British para, he picked up a Bren gun and he charged them out in the open. And when we found that these 2 tanks were being sold off to this American, and these are stills that are added in because we haven't shot these bits, and we decided, right, we've got to film this now before these tanks go. So we got enough money together. We hired these 2 tanks out for £3,000 for the day, including with their crews, and then we got all of these guys back in. So this is them pushing down the road. This whole sequence was shot over 2 days in 2 different locations. The total cost of it was about £8,500.
Oh, wow.
It's really impressive, mate.
It is. It's just massively impressive. And the shame of it is that nothing came out further down the line from it. This would have been fantastic.
I'll see in a sec. I'll just take this up to where the guy charges out, and then I'll tell you before I go.
Yep. There he goes.
Yeah, that's actor Alex Reese, who's been in loads of things, and David Wayman is the other guy there.
There he goes. Cock it.
Yeah, so this really happened. You know, it's like truth is stranger than fiction, but this guy really did this. Private Michael McGee was his name, and these 2 tanks were coming down the road. Everybody else was running away. He picked up his Bren gun. He just charged them. He charged them out in the open, just like this.
Oh my God.
So this really did happen, as strange as it seems. And he's firing the gun for real, by the way. So all the gun flashes there, that's all real. None of that's post-production.
That's great.
And he had to clear it a couple of times because it jammed at one point to keep it firing. And he just carried on. He was the actor was great. And then what happened was this guy came out and chucked what's called is it gammon bomb, I think they're called? This other private, and they set the first tank on fire, and that caused the second one to retreat. So there you go. So that gives you an idea of the amount of work we put into Paratrooper as well, which is a different project to Pegasus. So we had about 75 people there that day, including all the British and the German extras. I had a crew of about 16 and 3 cameras for that. So
absolutely phenomenal, mate.
There you go.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
No worries. I mean, it's so much work went into it. It's kind of like, you know, we're sort of stuck with it. And I mean, I hate to say it as well, but just I'm at an age and of certain other boxes in the industry where no one really cares. No one's really interested in any of the stories I have to tell. And if I look at funding applications and things like that, they're not geared. I'm a white guy in his 50s. It's very much perceived that I've had my chance, right? Yeah. I've been in the industry a long time. And I do not begrudge other people that are getting opportunities. There are a lot of people that have been marginalised in the industry for a very long time. It's great that they're getting their go. But no one ever gave me anything. I came from a middle-class family where my father lost his job and suddenly we found out we were working class. No one ever gave me a leg up in the industry. Every play that I've directed, there's 15 of them, I've had to go out and get them on myself. I had to find the theatres. I had to find whatever money we could get our hand on. I never got given a grant. I never had some echelon up in the theatre industry who looked down and said, oh, yeah, that Lance Nilsson's working hard. He's done 6 plays for bugger all. Let's give him a go and see what he can do. That never happened for me.
So, and it's the same in the film industry, and the film industry is not geared towards going to look for talented people and bringing them in. It's geared towards making money for the people that are already in it and keeping as many other people out as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, to stop diluting it.
And the only way to become successful is either to do it yourself and make such a big noise that you can. I mean, it was me that turned around to Drinker and said to him the first time we met, I said to him, mate, if you did a crowdfunding campaign, you'll raise £100,000 like that within a couple of days because of your fan base. And he didn't believe me. And I said, trust me on this, you'll do it. And look what happened. So this is the way forward now, is by us becoming independent creatives. That's what's so great about this platform. We don't have to rely on those higher echelons and the British film industry and all that, the gatekeepers and everything, because we go around and build our own gate. So I'm just being creative where I can with what I can, but that's now why I'm focusing on books, because I know I can get them out and make them. But I've been in the industry for a long time, so if anyone ever wants any advice on anything, or they're working with some people they're not too sure about, reach out to me, and if I can give you good advice, I'll do my absolute best. And my day job is that I'm a script editor, acting coach, script writer, all those things. So I also kind of teach people how to write scripts and books and all that kind of stuff. So listen, thanks very much for having me on, man. I feel like I've just talked all time and no one else has had a word in it to me.
No,
honestly, nice change of pace for once.
Honestly, this is why I wanted you on. This is why I wanted you to share your stuff, especially with the new book coming out. Lance, it's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you come back and join the streams in the future. You're more than welcome anytime, sir. And the links for Lance's channel, all his socials are in the description or the pinned comment. Make sure you pop across and definitely check out the Silver Screen Journeys.
I'm 196 subs away from 5,000.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's get that up.
Nearly there, guys. Nearly there.
Nearly there.
Let's go, guys.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Well, when I have my 5,000 celebration stream, I'd like to invite everybody on this panel to come on my channel to celebrate with me.
Be amazing.
I've really enjoyed being here. So you guys will get first dibs.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Happy days.
Thank you.
No worries. All right, I better run because I'm supposed to be live like literally now.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to be live now.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you for being
guys.
here.
Thanks, Lance.
Bye, Lance.
All right.
Oh,
So
that was
I'm
nice.
thinking next, if everybody's interested in films, I'll get my girlfriend on. She had to 30 minutes to an hour of seeing Anne Hathaway completely naked. Would that be interested? That was for a movie.
Dimensions, structure, shape.
I
We
don't
want to know
yeah.
dimples.
Photos.
There we go.
Video.
It was for the
70 mil print.
Was there any photogrammetry going on?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she could explain everything to us, what actually happened.
Did she press her breasts up against glass? Have you got the print of that?
Do you have the glass?
These are requirements.
Just for
These
the
are comments,
purposes, of just throwing this out there, I think the chat and the rest of the panel will all be quite happy that your missus comes on in your place.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, mostly, yes.
Yeah, you know, we're going to have the same situation like
I will
Yanni.
do if everybody
his
buys. It's
girlfriend isn't
25%
real.
off now. 25% off on our website. Reckless.
On
I'll
Reckless.
do it. Yeah.
His
Oh,
girlfriend
there you go.
isn't real. It's going to be Stasis.
wig.
Makeup
He has
and
a alleged
dress.
girlfriend.
I'll do it. I'll
Yes,
do it. I
Stacey
am
Queef, y'all.
Reckless Wolf. Dun dun dun.
Stacey
Imagine
Queef's
that. I turned
alleged
it.
girlfriend.
Well, I'm sorry. If I'm the lingerie designer and I saw Anne Hathaway naked, I'm a legend.
I mean, that's fair enough.
But instead,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There we go.
Does that mean you also hold the capability of just looking at a pair of tits and going, I know the size.
Yes. Yeah.
I know your size
There
immediately.
we go. She actually
Excellent.
does do that. It's really bad.
There you go.
Woo.
This is
Sure.
underwear, guys. We're not doing anything saucy, you kinky bastards.
With Some of them
Hello.
might do.
I don't know.
Abe's in the right place.
He's
I
like,
bet he
yes.
just went like that.
That's my favorite place to be. How did you know?
Abe's
Doing the slurpo.
See, he's right in the right place each time.
Can you imagine him on one of these shoots? Jesus.
Fucking, can you imagine any of us? Absolute fucking children.
What's going on?
Absolute fucking children.
There
But
you
the link is in chat, guys. Make sure you go check it out. 25% off Black Friday. Special.
Extended, yes.
Extended. I'm not going to say it. Oh, fuck. I was going to say something stupid then.
Oh, just do it. Just fucking release yourself.
No.
Just do it.
No. Do it.
Our respectable guest has already left. Now we're back to debauchery. Just do it.
Exactly. Have a guest that stopped us all speaking for an hour or something and stopped us saying all that shit we usually do.
Well, the thing is that obviously Lance, we met at the Friday night Tights meetup. And incidentally, we were quite fortunate with the table, the positioning of where we were, because it was so close to Drinker and the far end where Gary and the crew were.
Shep's up there as well.
And the two queues were going straight past our table, so we were interacting with so many different people, so many of the community that were walking past us. We were having chinwags with. Every now and again, you would have, because they were queuing up for hours, literally hours, and they would get to our table, and then they would want to sit down for a rest. So we were just generally talking to everybody. And
all night as well, people were coming up to me asking for one of my name is stickers that I brought.
Name stickers.
Yeah.
Because
smart.
I actually originally thought that they were supplied by either the venue or by Gary on the crew. But as it turned out, it was Abe's pen, Abe's stickers, and everybody literally had Abe's
I just brought them all
Smart bet.
just in case they didn't think of it.
And no one
I
did think of it.
still think the funniest thing, I don't want to out him, but I'm going to out you, Mr. Porkchop, is the funniest thing. Lance went up to him, and then Lance went into full nerd geek mode about 2000 AD.
Yeah.
And I was standing, I had my back turned, and then Dan just went, "You really want to talk to him?" Like the fear in Dan's face of like getting asked about something like, "What are you talking?" What he didn't know anything about. It was more to the point. Is like, "You said a word. That's all I know."
The same thing.
To him.
The same thing happened when Greg got his, because I think it was Greg brought comics with him. You brought something. You brought
the French ones, and I saw them at the bus stop.
Yeah.
You know, there's a photo. The
weird
photo
white
that is
stuff.
Yeah, that was for neurotic. Or was there was a photo at the telephone booth. If you ever things, they did one in things. That's me holding the lighting of everybody's camera because I was walking the same way back to the hotel, and then I was like, "Oh, somebody's left their comics here," and he was like, "Oh no, this was given things," and I was like, "I know that geek, I know that gay boy," and he went, "Oh yeah, the game, you know that." And so it was quite funny sitting at the bus stop talking to Gary about who the fuck was that, and then his missus did the loudest wolf whistle to get a cab I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But Americans are all good at wolf whistling. They really are.
I'm not.
They do.
Yeah, I brought. You can't see it actually. The Adventures of Luther Arkwright. Poster's just around the corner there. Trust me. Brought a series of comics, which was the first graphic novel. So there's nine issues, I think.
Yeah.
And I was involved in publishing one of those issues. Back in like 1989, and so I wanted him to have a look at those comics. I didn't think he'd have them with him, so I bought a set and took them up for him.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
But now that we said it, there's nothing wrong with that. Tomby, you have something that is very, very wrong that I shared with you earlier. Shall we? Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't want to see dick pics. We went serious, and now we go.
Shut up. So shall we shock anybody? Shall we shock anybody and make them question what year it is? That certain companies made a very weird decision.
Right. Okay. Let me throw this up. It's actually going to be fairly quick.
Yes.
And then I want to take
wait,
this stuff and get on with some news.
Oh, fuck yeah. But speaking of, that's very weird.
Yeah, this is very strange.
Yeah. So the important part about this is not actually that it's another anime getting released, but no, Netflix, out of all places, is releasing it weekly.
Netflix.
Yes, Netflix. Netflix is releasing it weekly. They are not releasing it immediately all at once or splitting it into two halves and being like, oh, here's the first 8 episodes, and then in like fucking 3 months when everybody forgot about it, oh, here's the second. No, they actually releasing it weekly.
Yes.
Like, are we sure this is
FNT style like binge model versus weekly?
Yeah, and that's
Is
the
this
first,
like early
that's the first thing we said.
Netflix?
This
is like early Netflix.
This is going to ignite the whole argument over between Gary and Jeremy again.
Yeah, and Davey already has it. Yes, Jeremy is gonna have a fucking brain aneurysm. Like he's gonna have a meltdown, being like, "What? Weekly on Netflix? What the hell is this?"
The fucking gay Jeremy gonna have a meltdown.
Jeremy, a homosexual man.
with pre-ripped jeans, I should add. With pre-ripped jeans.
Yes. So obviously when I found this, I'm like, wait, what year is it? Netflix releasing weekly? Like, what the fuck? This had to be shared immediately.
I mean, I would like to believe that people have got enough discipline in which they could choose to just watch it weekly.
Yeah.
Nah. You already know. No, like if I give you a show that's good and I give you 10 episodes, are you really only gonna watch one a week?
I mean, that was the pitch for Acolyte. That was the pitch for Acolyte.
Don't you find that a bit funny though? It's like if Netflix turned around and said, "Hey guys, here's a 10-hour movie. Would you like to sit down and watch it?" You'd go, "Hell no." But then they say, "Hey guys, here's a 10-hour movie split into individual episodes. Do you want to watch it?" Yeah, I'm going to binge watch this entire fucking series.
In one sitting. Yes.
In one sitting, yeah.
Yeah, but see, Jack, here's the funny part. If you give me a 10-hour movie and the movie is shit, then I'm not going to watch it. If you give me but here's the thing. If you give me a 10-episode series that's shit, I'm also not watching it. But if you give me a 10-episode series that's good, then I'm gonna watch it. If you give me all 3 Lord of the Rings movie extended, I'm gonna watch them in a row.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, your point stands, Jack, that most people think, 10-hour movie, I'm not going to watch that, whether it's good or not, at least, you know, the general consensus is. But
it's
yeah,
just
you got
like
to
a
split
psychological
up.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
yeah.
that way.
I mean, the also, like, the one thing with the episodes is, okay, you watch episode 1, and then you can just go, take a piss, refill your drink, whatever, and then come back and watch the next one. You don't have to watch all 10 hours in a row, like, literally in a row with no break.
The good thing is you can pause whenever you want as well.
But it's great for ads. If you do a series, people don't mind ads in the middle of it. If you have a movie and you put an ad in it, you're fucked off.
Yep.
Good point. Very good point.
Like on cable TV.
That's why everybody hated it.
Yeah.
And now, since now all the good news have been... no. We're getting to the good news because I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have fun with this.
Yep. We've just started hitting all of the fucking topics.
I mean, just to piggyback what Hanayama was showing off there with that post, that comes off the back of the decision of Crunchyroll deciding that the first arc of One Piece is going to be free for everybody, and the rest of the show will be available on premium subscriptions.
It's not the first arc. It's all the way up to Sky Pier, which is episode 207.
But still, it's kind of a little chunk compared to what we have with One Piece, right?
Yeah, but obviously we have over 1,000 episodes, and they cut it off by 2.7.
But the thing is, these brainlets at Crunchyroll think it's a good idea to boost their premium subscriptions with that. when in fact it drives even more people to the high seas to watch it. And that's why I did the post that I did yesterday on Twitter, like, gee, I wonder why everybody's going to sail the high seas because of it.
Yep.
You know, it's no surprise.
We just gonna do what One Piece told us and be free.
Yeah.
Most important message of the day: Ickly pickly. Can I have a brew, please? Mine's coming.
Can I have one too, please?
Yes.
Me too.
I actually hold on. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Greg snoring.
Little patter pit feet. Why I said this?
As Greg died.
Yeah, but only a lot quieter because it's only small.
Oh!
What the fucking bitch?
She had a lull behind it.
Fuck
the
off.
important thing is
Was
she had
that
a lull
karma
behind
just
it.
now?
Yep.
Oh, fuck off with your fucking karma.
I
I wish.
of karma.
Well, yeah. Speaking of fucking karma, I wish this fucking cunt received some fucking karma. Bastard, fucking set me off with my bloody swearing.
No shit.
President
Well, we're now into
Biden
the
pardons
stream.
his son Huntard Bribem.
His
Bearing in
innocent
mind,
son. His innocent son was
Yes.
his
mysteriously
innocent son.
pardoned.
yes, his
did nothing
son that was due for tax, drugs, guns related offences, and God knows what other bloody crimes this bellend's done over the span of what, 11 years?
Yeah.
11 years.
11 fucking years.
Which is an odd number.
Well,
It
the
is.
thing is, if you actually look at the numbers, it could almost be construed that it could include the time frame where he was doing dodgy dealings with Ukraine.
Yeah,
I was
Burisma.
Yeah,
just about
funny
to say that. He
Mm.
functioned as Joe Biden, right? And this isn't conjecture, this isn't libelous. He functioned as Joe Biden's private emissary
Correct.
to people
Because he
in
was.
the region.
Yeah.
Yep.
Banks have confirmed it. Prosecutors have confirmed it. It's not speculation.
It's
And
fact.
this happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
What a
absolute
coincidence.
fact. Now, I was fucking straight on my soapbox on Twitter with regards to this one, because I'm a firm believer that if you do a crime, you face the time for it.
Yep.
No one is above the law. There should always be a consequence to any actions. And Joe has also gone back on his word because he specifically turned around and said, "I am never going to pardon my son." Whereas clearly that mandate has flown out the window and he's pardoned him. But we know the fact that if he had been convicted, indicted, whatever, if he ended up going to jail over it, you know full well that's going to come back and bite Joe. And the last thing he wants is that kind of legacy over his shitty fucking legacy as it is.
Well,
But I
my
wonder-
is,
sorry, I
he
just wanna
forgot
say,
that he said that.
Yeah, I wonder if after talks with President-elect Trump, it would have been clever to go, Trump, you give Hunter Biden, the clear, and I'll give you the clear now. And they went to make a deal, and the deal wasn't right. And then something happened in them talks. They think, because politically, that makes sense. So this come out of the blue. I think some talks with the incoming administration, something happened. And then that was the only option they had. Because I think how Trump is playing it now, with all the dismissals, blah, 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 he's happy as Larry, because there's most of them are very, chasing him for chasing him's sake. This, you're going to jail and you're gonna have a nice little boyfriend for a couple of years.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah, go for it, Smee.
Here's the thing, though. I can already tell that the Biden Defense Force on CNN is going to come out when Trump is in office. Then he's going to pardon the January 6th, and they're going to blow this whole shit up, like saying, "Yeah, he's pardoned criminals," when in fact, yeah, strange timing.
That's what I was going to say. But Smooth, carry on.
The thing is, if Trump were to pardon the January 6th that were in the Capitol building that did no crimes, by the way, they walked in, they were let in by the police.
Correct.
You will hear no end of it. Fucking CNN will talk about it for weeks that he pardoned criminals all the fucking time now.
Yeah,
that's because CNN is the Biden apology force at this point. They will.
Yeah,
They will.
that they are.
They will spin everything positive towards Biden. It doesn't fucking matter if he did something wrong or right. And the best thing was when I think we're going to get to this later when Biden gets confronted by his decision to pardon his son. He just says, "Welcome to America." And I was like, "All right, so we're just setting a weird precedent here with pardoning people, especially when it comes to Hunter Biden, who legit did some shit." Are we just going to pretend that the Hunter Biden laptop doesn't exist anymore all of a sudden? Is that what we're doing here?
I don't think we should be allowed to. Any president, prime minister, or anything should be allowed to pardon a criminal, a convicted criminal.
Correct.
I don't think that should be a thing. I don't understand why that's a thing. Why criminals actually get to be allowed off. And what's more funny is that this pardon goes back to 2014.
Yeah.
What happened in 2014?
Exactly. That's the precursor to everything happening in Ukraine. Now, the thing is that obviously I mentioned this on Twitter when this happened. Something's just shit the bed over on Twitter. Oh, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's weird. It's just stopped streaming to Twitter for some bizarre, strange reason, but that's all good. It's fine.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, thanks for that. But what I was going to say is that the first thing I said is it's a massive conflict of interest. The fact that a president is able to pardon any member of their immediate family, let alone their son, that's obviously clearly has done something wrong. The 650-page document based off the laptop alone was enough to send everything into fucking tatters. But it's for me, I can't understand how the laws are in place in America that allows him to do that. You should never, ever be able to pardon any member of your family. It's just wrong.
Nope.
In fact, I think, there's a question as to whether or not, like kind of what Jack, I think you were saying there, as to whether or not they should be able to pardon at all. You know, what Biden was saying in a lot of this is, trusting the justice system and yada, 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 yada. If the system is right, if it is just, then you shouldn't have to have the ability to pardon. You should, anyway, sorry, totally getting distracted, but if there's a reason for the president to be able to pardon anybody, whether it's family or somebody else, if you really do need that, then there is another underlying issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
I think that ability needs to be taken away, and if there is any issue, let's address that. Let's fix the system. Let's get to the root cause. But we see this over and over again where we want to treat the symptom and not the actual disease.
I know, heretical nerd, I don't agree with that. There are not legitimate reasons for any president or prime minister to pardon any criminal. Like Yanni was just saying, if the justice system works the way that it's supposed to, the people who get convicted are the people who should be in prison. If it works correctly. Now, obviously, you've got people. Now you've got people.
There's miscarriages.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, there's miscarriages, but a president shouldn't be able to pardon that. It should have to go through an appeal.
It shouldn't require the president. I think the better thing is it shouldn't require the president to overturn or correct miscarriages of justice. That's the whole point of an appeals process and due diligence over your evidence, over your court case, over your appeal proceedings. Ultimately, it's not for the president to sort miscarriages of justice out or any of these things.
Yep.
Pardoning a fucking turkey for Thanksgiving is one thing. Pardoning a criminal, an actually convicted. I swear to God, there's a government website that lists all of the president's pardons that they've done over their term. And I went and looked at it the other day, and some of the fucking things that some of these people did that they were convicted of and they've been pardoned, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And yet now they're free to walk the streets because they were pardoned by their mate who's who's in charge.
And that's the reason why I don't think it'll ever be gotten rid of, is because it can be...
No, you can't. Sorry, Yanni.
No, it's okay.
I apologise for talking over you then.
No, you're fine.
This is fucking glorious. Wikipedia is just fucking shit the bed on this one.
Oh.
This is on Wikipedia. Holy crap.
Wait, 6,500 pardons, for simple possession of marijuana. Yeah, about that.
There's an issue here.
I just thought of a certain VP who took over his presidency partially. Clever
Needless to
censorship, by the
say,
way.
I had
Clever
to
censorship.
censor it with a bit of plaster with a band-aid. Because
I thought it was one of those heat-sensitive mugs.
So you put a samosa over his dick. That's what you.
I literally put a samosa over his codger and his balls.
You need
So
to
it's
make
cultural
like
appropriation,
what is that,
by
a
the
fig
way.
leaf that they put over it? Not a fig leaf.
The wife is quite funny. The wife
That's
gave
an
me
actual one-to-one scale
10 out of 10,
Tomby
Tom.
using
It is.
a
It
burrito
is.
to
It's
cover
an
himself.
accurate image of me wearing nothing.
Nothing.
Look at how that's framed, though, right? Joe Biden pardoned his son, etc., etc. Look above it. Donald Trump pardoned his political allies under investigation for crimes related to the charges against himself, protecting himself
correct.
from the charges.
Oh my
Fuck you,
God.
Wikipedia and Wikipedia editors. Fuck
It's-
you.
Go fuck
Whoever
yourself.
added that in, yeah.
You
By the way,
can't
Wikipedia
tell me.
is not a legit source.
Do not go to Wikipedia for your knowledge.
Wikipedia is not a legitimate source of any information whatsoever. If you're going onto Wikipedia to cite evidence, you're a fucking idiot. But it's the framing and the word usage, and I think this is what we all take exception of.
Do you know, once someone called me a walking, living Wikipedia, and I wasn't too sure.
No, it
whether
was
to take
wanker.
offence
That's
at
a
that.
backhanded
Yeah,
compliment.
It is. It was wanker. I
It
think
was
you just
wanker.
misheard.
I wasn't too sure how to take
Yeah, how
that
do you
because
take that?
I realised that person didn't understand Wikipedia was user edited.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, but then you do actually put truth up there, and then you have idiots who go, "No, it wasn't that. It was like."
Well, yeah.
oh
I mean,
my, yeah.
what was that? What was that one the other month? They changed it. Something. I'm pretty sure I can't fucking remember, but they changed it and they phrased the wording completely differently.
Yeah.
You can get away with
It's
some crap
gone.
though. I remember somebody who from a company I won't name, but they in the aviation business, quite high up. Of course, were he? Somebody there took a picture of this really new guy to take the piss, and remember like the guy who was chopping up people and putting them into people's bins, and he was called the bin wheeler murderer or something like that in the UK. Like in like the 2000s,
Bin bag master or
yeah,
something.
like that. And they put his
news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
you
in
were.
there. Yeah. The wheelie bin murderer, and they put his picture up and then gave him out where he lived and his address. Put like all these pictures up of all this guy, and they
Where's your
approved
wheelie
it.
bin? No,
yeah.
a wheelie bin murderer.
Wheelie bin murderer. That was he was a wheelie bin murderer, and they put his picture up, and then he said, "This isn't me. I've never been to jail." Complained to Wikipedia, and they went prove it.
Oh,
So he was up there for bloody years and years and years. And even the people who were taking the piss were going, "Yeah, we feel really sorry." They got, of course, marks to HR, but yeah, the wheelie bin murderer. And this guy was the wheelie bin murderer. Like, he was like an 18-year-old, literally little ginger little fucker, because they just took the piss and thought it'd be funny to change all the things that,
Always the gingers.
Yeah.
It's always the soulless little bastards, isn't it? Fucking ginger fucking cunts.
Why do you think they always got mistaken for witches, mate? And then they
I
got
bet
thrown
in
in
reality, the guy
river.
himself was wheelie great.
Pun intended.
All right, I'll leave now.
I'm just looking at these. I'm just looking at these pardons. So Abraham Bolden, an American former Secret Service agent, and first, of course, they have to get this in, the first American Secret Service agent. He was charged and convicted of bribery in '64, clemency to two Venezuelans involved in the Narcos Sobrinos affair and part of prisoner exchange. Pardoned all those convicted of what was previously the federal offense of possession of marijuana, totaling 6,500. Yeah, marijuana. I'm not really give a shit about this. Beverly Ann for secondary murder in alleged self-defense. Yeah, fine. I've got no problem with self-defense. I don't know why she's sent down. Obviously, her appeal was shit. Illegal distribution of marijuana, cocaine, and whiskey. Fucking Jesus Christ.
That reminds me of a certain district attorney who became VP for Biden, who convicted people for possessing marijuana.
This one, I've got no sympathy for. You can get fucked. You do drugs in the military, get fucked.
Yeah.
Face the consequences. Zero tolerance for that. Manufacturing marijuana.
I think this is basically a list of Hunter Biden's dealers.
Do you know what? I'm actually noticing the similarity between some of these people.
Time frames for their crimes overlap with Hunter Biden's drug consumption.
They do, don't they?
Because he's an addict. So, like, they may have pardoned him for past crimes. That doesn't mean the cunt's not going to commit crimes next week.
I mean, look at this.
He said the C word. The C word.
Conspiracy to act as an unregistered agent of a foreign principal, acting as an unregistered agent for spies. Unlawful export of technology to Iran. Fucking all of these things are kind of like
PlayStations to Iran to run a supercomputer.
A lot of these things are in blatant fucking contradiction of national security.
What I would do if I was Trump is
shoot him in the dick.
I would put a lot of energy into demonstrating beyond reasonable doubt that the 2020 election was stolen. That would make Joe Biden's entire presidency illegitimate. All of his decisions, all of the loans, all of the gifts were due to be repaid, and Hunter Biden's pardon would evaporate.
Do you know what's really funny of this? Just listen to the timings. Hunter Biden, who was convicted of illegally buying and possessing a gun, June 24. Hunter Biden also pleaded guilty to 9 tax-related charges, September 24. The pardon explicitly grants clemency for any potential federal crimes that Hunter Biden may have committed from January the 1st, 2014 to December the 1st, 2024.
Emphasis on may have.
Yeah, prior to this, Joe Biden had repeatedly promised that he would not pardon his son, asserting that he felt that Hunter Biden had been selectively and unfairly prosecuted. What? He's committed fucking crimes, you fucking dopey cunt.
He got caught
We can all see.
On
We
his
can all
behalf,
see. Just
one at a time.
Just because, like, we can all see what was on the laptop. We can all see what has been done. We you know, just because you think that it was unfair that he got caught does not make it an unfair fucking prosecution.
Exactly. Greg, go ahead. Or are you stuffing your face full of fucking chocolate, mate?
Kit Kat. I can't remember what I was saying.
Sign bollocks, probably. Shit cat.
He got caught red-handed though with some of these things. How in the fuck was that?
He filmed himself, not even just caught red-handed.
Well,
he filmed himself.
Well, there's lots of footage of him doing that stuff. I did want to say just really quick. I think that well, I'm open to hearing like what Pete was saying that Pete's saying that there's a reason for it. I really would like to hear an argument for keeping the ability for a president to pardon, excuse me. But I also don't think that we're ever going to see it be gotten rid of, because what it is that it's somebody who's a higher up, who's in power, who can then pardon their friends, their people that keep them in power, and keep up this whole damn system that they've got going on, the deep state or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I really don't think we're ever going to see this go away, even though I personally, currently, my stance is, with you, Jack, that I don't think that there's a good reason for this, but I would be open to hearing, I would like to hear an argument as to why we should keep it. But with that said, I don't think it's ever going to go away.
That's like pardoning Jeffrey Epstein.
Well,
Well,
like, look at it this way. Okay,
yes.
Yanni, look at it this way. Would you be okay with the president being able to pardon the Jan 6ers?
I mean, yeah, and that's a good challenge for it. I do want them pardoned.
No, but it's not though. It's not.
No,
the president shouldn't even be able to pardon them.
Right. That's what I mean. Oh my God, I'm so distracted.
It should be a good judicial process.
Exactly. We should have a just system. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. So yes, I would like to see them pardoned personally. But yeah, I don't think that ability should be there. But that's a good way to challenge it.
I mean, the challenge for me specifically. Yeah, go for it, Abe. Sorry, mate.
I was just going to say, look at this massive dossier where everything's been cross-referenced. this is definitive evidence of all of the things that he's done.
And yet he was only charged and convicted on like gun things. Is that gun charges? Was that's what he's been in prison for, right?
And
just for gun
evasion.
charges.
Tax evasion and gun
Tax evasion.
drug use too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The drugs.
Let's drugs.
But I mean, the thing is that you look at January 6th. They were let into the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
The police waved them in.
The police let them go in. They didn't stop them. They let them go in. At that point in time, you cannot turn around and say the crime's been committed.
Well, I don't know. So
they've been granted access. Now, if they destroy things,
it's not just that. Yeah, it's not just that, though, is it? That, like you're just about to say, that there is video evidence of certain people smashing windows, taking tables. Now, there's a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans would be saying, "Yeah, but it's a public building. Ergo, the property within it's public property." No, it's not.
No,
it's not public property.
Just because it's public property doesn't give the right for the public to go in and destroy it or break it or deface it.
It's still vandalising.
That's still vandalism.
Criminal damage.
Still criminal damage. It's misdemeanor, but it's still criminal damage. Ultimately, it's still criminal damage. The fact that they were let in, anybody that's been arrested for trespass, that should be thrown out straight away. On appeal, they would win that because all they need to do is get the badge number for the guy that waved them through. Said, "Yeah." I thought at the end of the day, he let us in. The evidence is there.
Yeah, just for simply being there, like the rioters, in the UK.
Yeah.
Just for simply being there, you shouldn't be convicted of being in a riot. What if you just taking a nice stroll through your fucking neighborhood, you turn the corner and there's a fucking whole bunch of rioters there, you get arrested because you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then you get convicted of attending a fucking riot?
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
At least with trespass in the UK, there are other conditions that have to be met. So they have to establish your intent to do a very specific series of actions. In order for that to stick. And if there's no evidence of those other things, you're just somewhere that you probably shouldn't be, but it's not illegal.
Yep. And this is one of the things that really kicked it off for me about the UK. Because one of the judges turned around and said, "You will be refused bail even if you only watched the riots from the sidelines. You didn't even need to take part." That is massive fucking overstep in their breach and their powers.
That is bullshit.
I could be fucking walking past, not taking any part of it whatsoever. I could even condemn what they're doing. Fucking wankers, why don't you just fucking piss off and go home? Yet this would say that I have no rights if I get arrested, even though I'm not taking part in the actual riot. I'm just wrong place, wrong time.
Well, when I was in London on Saturday...
Not fucking psychic.
We came across this big protest that was in regards to the assisted dying bill.
Yeah, euthanasia.
Yeah, and we came across a police officer, and it was still early in the day, right? And so we were talking to the officer, trying to figure out what was going on, where was cordoned off, all that sort of thing. Didn't want to really get involved with it. And some of the people I was with got freaked out a little bit because I was like, "Excuse me, officer, it is illegal to start a riot, isn't it?"
You trying to draw attention?
I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Generally. Apart from that leap day, that's okay.
Yep. And we I mean, talking about riots and January 6th and things that clearly you can't fucking talk about these days. Yeah. We actually started talking about this on 2Ts on a pod, and it was about the blasphemy laws, because this fucking absolute fucking tool.
You can barely fucking speak. To
be legally protected from desecration. Yes, we need Darude Sandstorm because of this fucking fat fuckwit.
What? I tell you what. If we are gonna implement laws about if we are going to implement laws about desecration of like religious things, then maybe we should start with the churches. Yeah, the Christian churches. Maybe we should start there, since we're a Christian country.
We are.
Based all of our traditions, all of our laws, all of our values are based in Christian, religion. Basically, they're not in Judaism. They're not in fucking Islam. They're not in fucking Buddhism. Everything that we base our traditions, values, everything is based on Christian values.
So just ask
for 1400 years.
1400 years.
Right.
And all of that's been taken away pretty quickly. Don't get me wrong, I'm not religious, but I know right from fucking wrong. And I know this is
but the
fucking
point there are far more atheists these days than there are.
But it's still predominantly 90% Christian country.
What I was going to say was that just because you're an atheist doesn't mean that you don't agree with the general morals of the Bible. Do you know what I mean? On which all of our fucking laws are supposed to be based. You still agree with the morals, or the general moral, compass of the Bible, which is basically, do no harm to others, treat people fucking nicely, and turn the other fucking cheek, basically.
Just in a plainer text without the religious context.
Yeah.
And I fully agree with that. There is, but there's also a lot in the Bible that's complete fucking horseshit. No offense, guys. But the fact that you can't eat fucking shellfish and the fucking loads of other crazy fucking bullshit.
no whistling on a fucking Tuesday.
No whistling on a fucking Tuesday. No whistling while you fucking...
To be fair, there's context to some of it, but...
Prophets of any kind should be, open to criticism. Especially if they're Abrahamic ones. If they're Abrahamic ones, thank you, my dudes, that's full-blown jihad, bitches.
I'm gonna play this video in a second, but I actually wanted to share this with everybody because I think this is funny. I asked my good friend Midjourney to create Yanni's alleged husband.
Oh my god!
Look at him! He's fucking knitted.
Nice.
I'm gonna send that to you. I'm gonna send it to you because I think that's fucking great.
I think he's watching right now too.
Is he?
Babe, please look at the screen if you are.
Save image. Yes.
Oh, what percentage is it accurate though?
Is it accurate?
I mean, there's some accuracy.
There's some accuracy. He's knitted.
The hair, the cross-eyes is what's getting me like
He's not real. That's one of the big ones.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. He's imaginary.
He's imaginary. Oh, mate. I thought that would cheer you up.
Oh,
right, let's
and how is just wanted, if you're in the chat, how is our husband today? I hope you're doing fine, sweetie. I love you.
Oh, fuck off, Jack. He says, he just texted my phone. He said, hey, that's a handsome fella.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, whilst we've been online, there's
our husband is handsome.
2 seconds. Jack, yeah. Stasis, go for it.
Breaking news in France.
Marianne Le Pen?
The PM is gone. He got ousted.
Yeah,
no confidence
Macron.
vote.
What, Macron?
Yeah, get fucked, idiot.
He got, no confidence passed by 331 votes. He's gone.
Look at that fat bastard at the top. Looks like me.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, French Prime Minister. Yeah, he's not Macron. He's French.
No,
he's
Barnier. He's the Prime Minister, not the President. Yeah.
Yes.
The main
right, okay.
So this now calls for the election. This was the far left and the far right getting together.
Yeah, getting together.
No, you're out.
Yeah, because they want the centralists fucking out of there. And this paves the way, essentially, for Macron to fucking disappear.
Well, he'll go, yeah.
Yeah, he'll go pretty quickly. And let's face it, there's been enough and you have to be careful with some of the things that are going on in terms of politics. But the thing is, Marine Le Pen's party is very far right. But they've got
But I think we need some more far right people in government.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the way that it is currently going, they have got the majority of the support, and it's been growing. The dissent in the country has been growing, and only basically, I would say, it's probably the Parisians that have been really supporting Macron, because that's where all of the focus is Macron and his government always helps everybody in Paris. They all support him. Everybody else across the country can get fucked. But Andy Matthews with the £5 dib-dobs, wrong place, wrong time, like our Lord and Saviour Ray Epps. God bless his non-FBI name. Yes, indeed. Andy Matthews, thank you very much indeed, sir. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, Barnier's gone, because he was always a wet fucking lettuce anyway. And he fucking hated the British. I absolutely hated the fact that we went for Brexit.
Yeah, he was their main negotiator.
He was the main negotiator. And then
I think he was the guy who said,
punish them.
Punish them and put as much pressure as possible on the border in Northern Ireland.
Yep.
It's why we've now got this
issue,
trade issue, transferring goods from mainland UK to Northern Ireland. They've effectively moved the border into the sea.
Yeah, because
that was him.
Yeah, go Smoke.
Cunt.
Don't you find it odd that all the governments are falling apart after Trump got elected, and everybody's calling for re-election and antitrust votes and all that stuff?
I mean, let's face
it. Timing, isn't it?
It was your country first, wasn't it, Smooth?
Yep. I was on the plane back home when I found out that the German government was basically falling apart. I was like, okay, that's new.
Yeah, and then NATO said today they have delayed the budget requirements for the countries until Trump will be comes in on
Trump.
Yeah.
East Rider, I call myself an independent Christian for £5 dib-dobs. Get back up on the screen, you bastard. I was reading that. I read the Bible on my own time. Don't trust the church. Try to live by Christian values. And this is the thing. This is the thing. When it comes to religion, I think it's well known throughout everybody here that I'm not a religious person. I do have a set of morals that I stand by. I do understand the delta between right and wrong. I am very much a family man, and most of my morals do actually align with the teachings you will find in the Bible. But I'm not religious.
Yeah.
I never read the Bible, never went through the Bible. I was forced to go to Sunday school. I was forced, and Stasis Geek will know this as well. We were forced in the armed forces to go to church every Sunday. I'm not religious. It's not.
And
something...
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's
because our military is also based in religion as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But the thing,
winky dink.
But the point I'm making is that just because I don't follow religion, I'm not a practicer of religious beliefs, doesn't mean I'm not a moral person, or I don't support anybody else that does have religious beliefs. If you want to believe in whatever God you want to, go for it. You've got all my support.
You have the freedom to believe the things that you believe, right?
Correct.
But the thing is, Tomby, you don't have to believe in Christianity. You don't have to believe in Jesus to believe that, marrying children under a certain age is wrong. Or, marrying children is wrong, I should say. Allowing women to have an education.
But that's not having
them. Not having them, but my point is that the morals and the values that our country lives by, and the laws that we've made, are all based in those same things. That even though you don't believe in Jesus, you still believe in the laws and the morals and the values that have been set down by the Bible in our country.
Yeah,
and so you don't go around like whipping girls because they don't satisfy their husband. You don't make them wear completely cover them from head to toe. You know what I mean? You don't go around making blasphemous laws or blaspheming laws because you're going to get all offended because everyone's got the right to say whatever the fuck they want. And you believe that, right? There you go.
But
you don't have to.
I think the point is it's second-hand learnings because I didn't learn that from the Bible.
No, it's immersion. It's by osmosis, being around your fellow man.
I wouldn't even say it's from that. I mean, the thing is that I was taught right from wrong by my parents. They're not religious. Neither are any members of my family, not religious. But the thing is that right and wrong stemmed from the law, correct? The law has been driven by religious histories throughout all of our fucking time. Throughout all of our time, this is our moral standpoints and all of the things that we're talking about in laws have come from such a wealth of historic religious doctrine. I would like to say fucking doctrine on that one because it was the only thing that they had to guide the principles of the people. I completely accept that. But the point I'm getting to really, really poorly is that it wasn't necessarily the religious aspect that taught me right from wrong. It was just that I'm a well-rounded individual. I believe in the laws that we've got in this land.
Well, our only civil war in this country was fought on, but because of religion, it was literally a religious civil war, Protestants versus Catholic.
Yep.
And religious struggle has always been involved in the British historical story because of the Church of England from Henry VIII's time being at odds with Roman Catholic powers around the world. So, in a way that drove the power of the British Empire to be what it was in that competitive global sphere. But like Richard Dawkins talks about the general values that we've grown up in this country and other Western countries as a result as being culturally Christian rather than practicing Christianity.
Yeah.
And I think that's right. That's more of an atmosphere of Christianity within which you get, islands of very devout people in communities in fellowship with one another. And then a wider society, some of whom are at different points in their journey and may not believe at one point. So, I mean, society has always been made up of very disparate views, and I think religion is a pillar of society. I was a atheist for 30 years or more of my life, and then I converted to Christianity, and that changed my life completely. And I think that the Christian values that are the foundation of Western society are really what's worth defending more than anything else, more than our technological achievements, more than our historical and moral achievements. They are all foundational in our support of the New Testament and Christianity in this country. And I think if that fails, our country will fall. The monarchy will fall. Parliament will fall. The constitution that's not been written down, but everyone can point at occasionally over the left shoulder, will fall, and the judicial system will fall because it's all based on Christianity. And if you erode the foundations of that in our society, you erode the whole foundation of Western civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is that you found. The question is, did you find religion or did you find faith? Or both?
Both. Boyfriend.
Probably.
Or boyfriend.
Well, I think it's a bit of a difficult one to talk about in this sort of situation. So, yeah.
It gets a little personal.
Yeah, I mean, but, don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Cats for sure.
I'm not trying to put people on the spot because ultimately, I mean, the thing is that I was baptized as a child. I didn't have a choice in it. It was just the thing that the parents did. To all of the boys.
What is the Hobbit religion?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good point.
Wait, the boys got baptized? You said? Only the boys, not the girls.
Because I haven't got any sisters.
Oh. Never mind.
Kind of helps.
That helps.
Or should I say?
I'm sure had he had sisters, they would have been baptized too.
Had they survived,
I
obviously, in his
misunderstood.
village, the youngest daughters would be sent
Thrown in
out
the
to the
sea.
wolves at night.
Yeah.
If they survived.
No, not.
Shut up.
They haven't got hairy feet.
Hold on.
Dismiss them.
Silly woman.
Oh, fuck.
And Andy Matthews with he found the Gorgre Makel. Oh, fucking George Michael. It's getting a little bit hot in here. It's a bit wham. Yeah.
Wham!
Nice.
Wham!
I'll put my fan on.
You're going to put your fan on before you fall asleep.
It's getting a bit hot.
Yeah.
I don't really want to fall asleep on camera, but I am in danger of it because I'm
Yeah.
Well,
No,
you know what to
alright.
do with that crystal.
Hmm?
You know what to do with that crystal. That'll keep you wide awake.
It's all about that fucking thing.
But anyway, in regards to this chap and what he's talking about with blasphemy laws, the whole point is that we have a certain set of laws that are based in, religion, obviously, but freedom of speech really doesn't have much to do with religion.
Correct.
Freedom of speech is the simple fact that we should be, allowed to say our opinions, providing that we're not inciting anyone to hurt anybody else. By calling Muhammad a cunt, you're not inciting anybody but the Muslims to hurt anybody. Because when you say that, it incites them to hurt other people.
Yeah.
But you are not inciting people to by blaspheming, if you will, against Islam or whatever. You're not inciting violence. You're not inciting hatred. You're expressing an opinion which you are allowed to have. You're allowed to have the same. Yeah, and you're allowed to have the same opinion about Christianity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can
in this
you can have a go.
Christianity before, have we? We've never needed
exactly
on the books, and it's just these weak-assed arguments of Islamophobia that they're trying to bring that forward to give them protected status in the law in Britain, and then turn around, stab us straight through the heart, and destroy our country.
Absolutely.
Religious texts.
Is that echoing for you guys?
No.
Including the Quran, despite opposition from the previous government. Acts of such mindless desecration only serve to fuel division and hatred within our society. Will the Prime Minister commit to introducing measures to prohibit the desecration of all religious texts and the prophets of the Abrahamic religions?
Why only Abrahamic religions? Why not all religion? If you're going to have it as one, then you have it as a blanket for all. If it's going to be a rule, then it's going to be a rule for every single religion. Every faith.
This is why I needed. Yeah, go on, Abe. I wanted to challenge that in a second.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can't think of anything more divisive in a society that tells people what they can and cannot say about anything.
Who we lost?
Smoo.
Okay. No loss.
Because
Carry on.
Because fundamentally,
he's back.
Welcome back, if you're secure in whatever you believe in, and someone criticizes it in a way that you don't like, you can just go, they're a dick, and walk away.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
I want
to
bring this up because I did actually challenge, not necessarily challenge is a strong word. I did actually point this out to Jack. I think this was mentioned in chat on one of them.
God, a challenge, Alan.
Abraham is traditionally considered to be the first Jew and have a covenant with God because Judaism, Christianity, Islam are all recognized Abraham as their first prophet. They are called the Abrahamic religions. Christianity is covered.
Yeah. I'm not bothered about that though. What my point is that you've got Buddhists as well. You've got Shintos. They still live in this country. And so why does it? The way that he framed it is like all Abrahamic religions.
The way I look at the way he framed it was just for Islamic religions.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like.
I mean,
either way, he's all religions.
Yes.
He said all religions, but what he actually meant was Islam.
Islam.
And what my argument is basically, no, you've got to be able to take criticism, and it's that fucking simple. If you don't like what someone's saying about your little religion, and your little fucking prophet, what a fucking shame, boo fucking who, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
I couldn't give a shit if you're crying about what someone said about your fucking religion. People say Muslims say shit things about my fucking religion every single fucking day.
Constantly, every day.
So and I can tell you now who is going to be persecuted more.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be the Christians, even if it's for all, even if it's a rule for all religions. We're going to get persecuted far more. It's like Greg was saying. It's just a backdoor method to stab us through the heart and destroy the country.
I would just want to highlight this. East Rhoda has become a member. Thank you very much indeed.
Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance.
I'm going to get copyright struck.
He went.
Copyright struck.
Nice.
I get fucking pinged for that one all the time, but it's well worth it. East Rhoda, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Just scholar and legend.
Well, Jack, in all fairness, there aren't many religions that are based around olive oil. So you might be safe.
2 fingers
unless you're Greek. Or Italian.
Yeah.
No, olive oil from Popeye, Smoo.
The good shit.
You mean like that Popeye horror movie that's coming out?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, there's a Popeye
not
horror
seen much
movie
about it.
in the works. Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to find, and it's loosely tied to what we've been discussing, and I can't find the actual webpage for it, but it's all the crimes being conducted by the minorities of those religious followings being labelled as white Christians instead.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And it's happening in America as well. There's so many crimes being committed by minorities in America, and then suddenly on the crime sheet, white Caucasian. And it's like,
let's not forget the people who assaulted Jussie Smollett.
Jussie
The
Smollett.
Nigerian bloke.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 Nigerian
French-
blokes, apparently white now.
Yeah,
Yes,
apparently white. Yeah, fucking, it's ludicrous.
Well, have you seen some of the convict information for a lot of these people? You know, like blatantly black and brown people being
can't determine the
characterized as
race.
white.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing
weird
is,
that.
what they need to do is clearly put the exposure up on their cameras instead of just like, or turn them down, should I say? Fucking overexposing the fuckers. Anyone's gonna fucking turn white with fucking gamma ray bursts in their
a good
face.
bokeh effect as well. You know,
Yeah,
get that
I mean-
depth of field.
Oh, you've got to do it. You got to do it.
I mean, just think about like
all
when
shifting.
you listen to the media all the time, right? Whenever a person of color, or let's say a black man commits a crime, they never mention his fucking race, do they?
Exactly. Nope.
Never.
It's left alone.
When it's
No.
a white guy, it's immediately like, yeah, it's a Caucasian white male who did a mass shooting somewhere.
I want
Yeah,
to.
the
know
other one-
exactly that
the
it's a
other-
person of color when they don't mention it.
The other one
weird,
is
that.
when they say like Bolton man. He's like he came from fucking Timbuktu. Okay,
Yeah.
just because he's been living in Bolton
Just
for
say
the
he's a
past
fucking
fucking
foreigner.
He's clearly
for the last 6 months.
He's clearly
doesn't mean he's from
Bangladeshi
Bolton.
or Somalian or fucking some other descent. He's fucking out
Fucking Bolton man.
Timbuktu, and next thing you know, he's from Portsmouth.
He's
It's like-
clearly a call center employee. Duh.
Do you know that Brendan Fraser film? It was called Encino Man.
Encino Man, which was actually
Yeah.
California Man originally.
California man.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like that. Bolton Man.
Yeah, it
Two
is.
teenagers
Yep.
discover a savage who goes around committing crimes, and they
But
try to
it-
civilize him.
But this is the other one, right? It's like Bolton man was in court today, and such and such and such and such. He responded via interpreter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh
Is he-
yeah,
is he
okay,
Scouse or what?
Yeah, it's like the Bolton accent.
yeah. So
It's not that bad.
Darker, darker, crimson jihads.
And demonetized.
I guess that we're going on to my subject then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
I'm
to
pushing us
fail.
on. Yeah,
Have to
Greg,
Okay, okay.
Greg, do it. What you doing?
Do the
Playing
thing.
games. See you later. Bye.
I'm going to bed.
You've got
now.
glowing ears, by the way.
Sleep well.
Do it.
Thanks. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Yes,
Bye.
He's gonna
go
be on
watch the
Conan
Arm
in 10
Witch's
minutes.
streams. She's the fastest growing YouTuber on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
And I might see some of you during the week. Well, it is actually Wednesday, isn't it? So yeah, Friday with Ryan and Sunday with Ryan. I think this week.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
So
So you're getting Ryaned.
I'm being thoroughly Ryaned all weekend. Yeah.
Happy days.
And you're gonna be caught playing Conan again.
Yep.
It's not really being caught if I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
If it's not
Right.
something exposed,
Check out my highway.
Discord, mate.
Good night, chat.
See you
Oh,
later,
Take
mate.
care, you.
See you later, mate.
See you later.
Toodaloo.
Okie dokie then. Well, let's
Right.
just
Now
get
we've
into
got
it then.
now we've got a good number of people. We're not got an odd number of like panel members either side.
Your heart rate going down a little bit now.
It's fucking my OCD was fucking tripping balls.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
been
blame
Abe,
fucking
you need to speak
absolute-
up a little bit, mate. You're
Who?
very quiet. Abe.
Who is?
Abe is very quiet.
He is. I
He
can't.
needs
Abe's
to get his
volume
head
dips
out
in and
of
out.
Stasis' bum.
That's because he's
I
sexy
think
voice.
it just depends how many people are talking at the same time.
Sorry.
Even when people are not talking.
Abe and his
Okie dokie.
sexy voice.
Let's go.
Do it.
Right then. So, you may have seen in the news recently that a lot of dairy farms across the UK have taken to this new experimental food additive called Bovaer. And it's basically a food additive that they're adding to feedstocks for cows to reduce methane reduce their farts basically. And so the reason why I'm actually bringing this up is because it's caused an awful lot of controversy on the internet. There's lots of people saying we don't want experimental shit in our food chain. This is all backed by Bill Gates, and we're going to boycott all these dairy farms and dairy manufacturers, etc., etc., etc. Well, as a shocking turn of events, I am going to completely sit in opposition to that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that may actually surprise you, but I am sitting in exact opposition to that, and I'll tell you for why. Basically, what the problem is that people are coming around and saying it's backed by Bill Gates. Two, which is not, and two, it's the food additive that is being the chemical that is being mainly used in this new food additive is 3-nitrooxypropanol. And so basically, it's a propane alcohol with a nitro or a nitro-oxy group attached to it. Now, for those of you who don't know much chemistry, don't worry, I'm going to explain it in a second. But for those of you who don't know biology, cows and other, animals like that, they're ruminates. And what that means is that they have an extra stomach, which is called the rumen. And
So
what
they're
that,
Jedis.
yeah, basically. And what that allows them to do is to break down things like grass, the high fibrous things, and it's basically like an anaerobic sort of environment with full of enzymes and bacterias, and it breaks down all these things. Now, this 3-nitrooxypropanol, it hydrolyzes very quickly in the rumen, basically. So essentially what happens is the propane chain and the nitro chain, they separate almost instantly when they're in the rumen. And so it breaks down into it breaks down into like 3-nitrooxypropanol and a nitrate group. And the nitrates also break down into nitrites.
Nitrite.
Now, the reason why this is important is because all of those things are already present in the cow's gut, right?
Correct.
And I don't know whether people know about biology or whether they know, things of that nature, but
No, never heard of any of it, mate.
usually in lactators, like animals that lactate, or mammals as they're known, they have like a protective sort of membrane that filters out certain chemicals. It filters out certain things that shouldn't be in the milk. And a lot of other creatures as well. Any things that are not metabolized in their system, they get excreted out, obviously, in your piss and your shit. And another thing is that when certain things aren't metabolized, they often end up in the bloodstream. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, it could end up in the milk, it could end up in the blood, it could end up in the meat of the animal, etc., etc. Well, dairy farm cows are not usually used for meat because they're used for dairy. So you don't need to worry about it being in the meat supply. You only really need to worry about it being in the milk supply. And it won't end up in the milk because it... Yes, exactly. I'm a lactating specialist.
The biology specifically prevents it from getting into the milk.
Exactly.
And the other... I'll just interrupt you with one point that a lot of people also probably don't realise, that when these additional chemicals are actually being excreted, nitrites and stuff like that, believe it or not, are very good for the fucking ground.
Yes, they're not good for the human body, but they're good for the ground. Now, one thing I will say is that I would be far more worried about cross-contamination with, because how like cows and that are kept in the UK and other places. A lot of the time they piss and shit all over themselves and they're walking around in that. Any of this 3-nitroxypropanol that gets excreted out in their piss and their shit, yes, it could end up on their bodies. And yes, there might be some cross-contamination if for some reason the piss and shit got in the milk. I don't know why that would fucking happen, though.
Sorry, go back. I just pissed myself because I thought fucking Greg Wallace just fucking turned up in chat. I was there going, the fuck?
I didn't do it.
Welcome to Master Chef.
Who the fuck was that?
Welcome to Master Chef Hump Day edition.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought it was Walter
White
White for a second.
himself. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I need to fucking piss after that. Fucking hell.
Jack's talking about chemistry and Walter White bowls up.
Sorry, Jack.
Or Jesse Pinkman.
But anyway, so the point of all of this is that although there has been a whole fuck ton of controversy on the internet, all these conspiracy theorists saying, that we don't want experimental drugs in our cow feed and all this kind of stuff. It's been developed for quite some time now, and it's got nothing to do with Bill Gates. Okay, it's actually being produced by a well-known chemical manufacturer called DSM Firmenich, I think their name is, and they have been making chemicals for God knows. In fact, some of the fragrances the fragrance bottles that buy all the components, they come from that company. They are specifically manufactured by that company, and the fact that people saying that Bill Gates has got anything to do with this is completely wrong in the body of it, because he actually funded a rival to this particular one that is being picked up. So Bill Gates has got absolutely fuck all to do with this particular product, right? He may have funded a completely different one, but it's not this one, and this is the one that's in question. Why has this taken off so badly that people are now boycotting Arla, they're boycotting Lurpak, all this and that, right? It's because of one singular blue sky post.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's it. It came from one blue... Yeah, it came from one fucking blue sky post, and that's it.
Yeah, the thing is, the Bill Gates angle is because he was back in Ruminate in America to create a very similar Smoothie DJ legend. He's turned up in chat. So Bill Gates has backed the rival Ruminate to basically come up with exactly the same thing in the States. Basically similar principles, probably going to come down to similar lines. But the key thing here is that the studies and everything that's been done has shown that this is completely safe. That there's no trace of these chemicals within the milk that's being produced or by the dairy cows that are being fed this compound.
And what's more is that there is so little evidence to prove that this 3-nitrooxypropanol is harmful to humans, because it hasn't even been fucking tested on humans. So people are coming out and saying, "Oh, it's carcinogenic and it's this and it's that and
there's been no study.
It affects human fertility and etc. etc." There have been no studies into that. They're coming up with fucking bullshit right on the spot.
Yanni, you were going to say?
Oh, I was going to ask, well, who we know who did the studies? Is it the same company that created said chemicals? Or, I mean,
so
one thing we definitely have to learn from Monsanto is we got to learn who did the studies.
Yeah.
Well,
I
guess
not to push on it, but I'm not trying to actively challenge or anything. I'm just curious, like, yeah.
No, but at the same
time, I usually ask.
At the same time, whoever did the study, there isn't a study. That's the point. So the study about whether or not it's safe that this Bovaer is safe for human consumption, right? It doesn't. I wouldn't fucking eat it because I'm not a cow, right? So I've got no danger of eating it. What there is a danger of is it entering the food chain through either meat or the milk.
Right,
Since
and that's the study of it getting into the milk. Who
what? No, so I did the study before. I did the study before the show, and I'm telling you that because ruminates digest their food in a certain way, I can tell you the chemistry of how the 3-nitrooxypropanol disassociates and how it goes into the body. So what I'm telling you is that because of how ruminates actually digest their food, it hydrolyzes the compound into completely separate compounds which are already present in most dairy cows. Before you've even given them the food, right, the compounds that this breaks down to, that it metabolizes into, are already present in dairy cows.
Can we ask Greg, because he seems like he wants to say something. He looks a bit pissed off, but can you not do anything rude? Because he does look like he's had his mouth open for a bit. Greg, go.
No, you don't want to say anything. You're just stunned.
He's just stunned. He's just looking at you like, fuck you. That was big, oh, fucking cows.
Has Yanni dropped?
She's frozen.
Wiggling her fingers.
No, she's... she was moving briefly.
Oh, there she is. She's she's like fucking Drax.
It did drop out for a second there, so I was sitting there waiting for everybody to move.
Yeah,
again,
so basically,
on my end,
Yanni,
everybody was frozen.
So just to answer your question, Yanni, I did the study before the show, basically, and I'm telling you that. Yeah, Bill Gates paid me to say all this, basically. I'm sitting on a fucking fortune now. But quite simply, just because of how I know how cows digest their food, how things enter into the bloodstream, how they're broken down, all that kind of stuff, I can tell you without any doubt in my mind, there is no chance of 3-nitrooxypropanol getting into the bloodstream. Or the fucking... Well, not necessarily into the bloodstream. Well, yeah, into the bloodstream, because the majority of it is broken down into these separate compounds which are already present in a cow's system. Even before you fed them...
If it does go in the bloodstream and I ingest it, how high will I get?
Stasis out here asking the real questions.
The real question.
No.
What is actually going to do... What is actually going to do to the human body? Really?
No, the only sad part that we learned is, so if they eat it and they fart, they will not fart out blue nitro flames. Lame.
Oh. Right, okay. Links in chat. We'll move on to something else, but there is a link in chat. to the scientific research that's gone behind it. And it does go into everything that you need. Who have we lost this time?
We lost
Jack.
Jack.
He moved out.
Oh no, Smooth changed his avatar again. I didn't recognize him.
It's Mark Zuckertrump.
Mark Snickerberg.
And Jack is back.
There's Jackie's back.
Internet. But Arla themselves, just to finish up on this, Arla themselves have actually released a statement, which I've got right here. I'll just read it out. It won't take long. I'll just read it out quickly. It says, last week we announced that we would be running a trial of a new cow feed supplement called Bovaer, product that has been researched for over 15 years and is already used in many countries around the world. Bovaer has the potential to reduce methane emissions from cows and is part of our efforts to reduce carbon footprint in our products. Unfortunately, since we made this announcement, a significant amount of misinformation has been circulating online, and we feel compelled to address this by clearly and openly stating the facts. Our commitment to reducing climate impacts is unwavering, but we would never do so in a way that jeopardizes the health of our consumers or the welfare of our animals.
Yep.
DSM Firmenich, the manufacturer of Bovaer, provides these facts about the product that's fully approved for use in the UK. It does not filter through to humans when they consume dairy products. Regulatory bodies such as the European Food Safety Authority and the UK Food Standards Agency have approved its use based on evidence that it does not harm the animals or negatively impact their health, productivity, or the quality of milk. Bovaer has undergone extensive testing to ensure it is safe for the cows and for humans. It is specifically designed to break down in a cow's digestive system and quickly decomposes into naturally occurring compounds already present within the stomach of a cow. This means it does not pass from the cow into the milk. Bovaer has been worked on for 15 years and is being used in approximately 25 countries across more than 200,000 cows. In December 23, Bovaer was approved in the United Kingdom. It is currently approved for use in 68 countries. You can read more about Bovaer at this link in the alongside the 2,000 farmers across the UK who own Arla, which I didn't actually know that the 2,000 farmers owned Arla. That was a surprise to me. We work hard to produce healthy and quality food every day. We work to ensure that this is done safely, whilst also working to reduce our impacts on the environment. Now, I'm going to finish the subject with this one thing. All of this, is complete bullshit in the way of reducing like carbon emissions, etc., etc., etc. Because
my next question.
Because the one thing that I can say about the world is that there is one huge flaw in this whole climate thing, right? Is that the cows and CO2 producing countries and cars and all this, that they produce a fraction of the greenhouse gases that are contributory to the greenhouse effect on the Earth. Would you like to know what the biggest greenhouse gas in the world is?
The ocean.
Water vapor.
Cows.
Yeah, it's from the ocean.
It's water vapor.
Yeah.
Water vapor, clouds, those things that have been fucking floating around in the sky for the past God knows how long, since Methuselah's granddad was alive.
The source is the ocean. It evaporates.
So how do we go to
water vapor is the biggest greenhouse gas. Are we going to stop? Are we going to stop the ocean? Are we going to I thought that sea levels were rising. Isn't that going to be even? Well, hello, Diesel. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah,
Diesel. Diesel and hell yes.
He's one of my oldest friends here.
Diesel's a good lad.
Very large part of that as well.
Speak up.
What was that, Abe?
Unless it's not the same Diesel.
I was just saying that oceanic plankton is exactly one of the biggest things that contributes to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's constantly breaking down, and the gases escape, and away it goes into the fucking atmosphere. The ocean is
but even plankton produce oxygen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point being, the biggest greenhouse gas is water vapor.
Ickle doesn't eat my protein.
Always present. Well, that is always present in the atmosphere, and so, and another thing, I think that this whole climate crisis is not a conspiracy of the government. I think that this whole climate crisis is a conspiracy of greenhouse manufacturers, because if the greenhouse effect on the Earth gets good enough, then we'll never ever need to buy another greenhouse.
Correct.
What you get in your garden?
Yeah, the greenhouses for your garden, they would cease to be sold. No one would need them anymore, so they've invented
So you're
this
saying
thing.
bricks? We need loads of bricks.
We've got plenty of pricks in the world, mate.
Yeah.
We don't need any fucking more. We don't need any
glass
fucking
houses.
more. Sink ships. No, that's loose lips, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes.
Boondock Saints has screwed me up on that one. I always think people
The
in
rule-
glass houses think
The rule of the wrist.
it should have been a rule of wrist. It's fucked me up on all
Mate,
the
missed
phrases.
it. Missed it. Oh, it's amazing. Amazing. Right.
Loose lips sink ships.
Loose
Is that
lip,
right?
loose lips, shink shit. Fuck me, so you cunt. Put my fucking teeth back in.
Are we
Loose
talking
lips,
about that
sink
New Zealand
ships.
captain who sank a ship, who ran a ship aground?
What, the lesbian?
Is that what they called her? Loose lip.
Yeah,
Wouldn't surprise me.
loose hips. She was called
Loose
loose
hips.
hips.
Loose hips.
I think this is funny. Streamer Johnny Somali's trial in South Korea will start on December the 20th, right before Christmas. Fucking cunt.
Yeah, but
This
that's only
is
that,
fucking
but that's
bogus.
only the start date, and the trial, sentencing, all that bullshit will not happen till New Year. But it's funny, we know where he
okay.
gets to spend his Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking cunt.
it's starting.
Didn't he
That's
also
exciting.
try to escape into the autonomous zone that was opened when South Korea was briefly
He
under
was-
martial law?
He
The
was given.
autonomous zone.
He was given.
Chaz.
Yeah.
It was kind of like it was kind of.
He was
like a
given.
chance.
He was given advice to try and escape by people on fucking Discord.
Yep.
Of all
Yep.
things.
Yeah, go try crossing that demilitarized zone, because there's plenty of landmines.
Come at night, you won't fucking see him.
Okay, and so just because I've saw it in chat a few times, really quick. So for anybody that is worried about the martial law in South Korea, that thing started and got shut down immediately
Within
again
2
the
hours.
same
Within
day.
2 hours.
So no,
Within
there is
2
currently no martial law in South Korea.
Correct.
It got started and immediately curbed the same fucking day. And
190 to 0, I should add.
Yeah, I was going
190
to bring it. I'm going to bring up the images, guys. So don't stress.
Yeah.
So yeah, South Korean president declared emergency martial law. Did he actually ever turn around and say why he declared it?
Well, there's
yes, and
three
it's
reasons
bullshit.
for it. There's
No,
three reasons for it.
it's very simple. It's yes and it's bullshit.
All right, Smooth, give me the reasons.
So I asked Grok about this to summarize it for
Oh,
me. So
God.
wait, hang on.
We'll hear him out.
The basic idea was that he was saying that there's North Korean sympathizers in the opposition, and that's why he wanted to get rid of them. And also, he doesn't trust the people that are in government with him. And he was scared that there would be a threat from North Korea because that they infiltrated his government and that they would take over the parliament and everything. So he was like, yeah, no.
If that was, I mean, the thing is, if that was the case, then there would be more than 0.
Yeah, but the
Exactly.
thing is, the thing is very simple. He got his fifis hurt because nobody was paying attention to him, so he whipped his pee out and made himself look important for a cup of coffee. Congratulations, you fucking did.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's about it.
That's
Like
the whole
this is the most nothing burger you will ever see.
Well,
What is not a nothing burger? Smooth?
He basically accused the government of paralyzing government functions. That's what it basically boils down to.
Yeah, which also didn't happen because
Exactly.
190 to 0. Oh no!
Oh, good lord!
Mate,
No!
yes,
Can we,
yes.
can we call the police, by the way? Because I think
See-
we're about to witness a murder in the.
Nah,
comments
see,
section.
here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. Just
Here's the fucking thing.
just show the like to dislike ratio, and then we honestly should be done with this shit because, like, let's be honest, who cares?
Oh, I care
The comment-
massively.
the
I want to
comments-
watch this. This is going to be the best
comments- the
film
comments are great.
ever.
Oh god.
Mate, look at that. Fucking 372,000 dislikes to 19k.
A little disclaimer before we play the video. We don't take any responsibility if you have any nightmares about dwarfs tonight.
Yes.
Because this is literally the
Zombie.
last item on the list that I care about.
If you dream about me tonight,
fair game.
Suffer the
fair game.
consequences.
Fair game.
He wants to
Say
hear about it
Tomby
later.
3 times.
Mate, say Tomby 3 times, spin around and do yeah. Let's see this nightmare fuel.
If we have.
The same thing happens if you look in the mirror and you say olive oil 3 times, I appear.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Olive
he
Man.
appears like that, and then suddenly you can't see his fingers no more, and it's all over.
I will rape you.
That's going to be your future, Rachel. That's going to be your future.
Well, I just want to punch her in the cunt.
Also, shout out
I
to
don't even
that
wanna touch
Rachel Zegler simp in my Twitter mentions. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I've seen
seriously?
him.
Fuck right off.
When?
Seen him. Yeah, I've seen
What,
him. It's
today?
funny. Yes.
No, it was like the last 2 days because you know how the Moana actress was like saying something about buying a house for her mom after the success of Moana,
which is
It's like-
which is fantastic.
Yeah, and I said I quote tweeted that article and said Rachel Zegler could take notes from her, take a note or two from her.
Yeah, agreed.
And someone with an Ariana Grande profile pic with 2 followers and one follow was calling me immature for actually saying that. I was like, well,
Yep.
it's my opinion. Go
Get
fuck
wrecked.
yourself.
Maturity doesn't even come into it.
You're 34
Yeah.
years old. Why are you so obsessed with Rachel Zegler? I was like, I just brought her up as a
Age?
comparison.
Your age does not discount you from having an opinion over something.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's. Well, basically, that person was calling me immature for no fucking reason.
Fucking Diesel. Why do I have the feeling that Rachel Zegler probably can't even sweep properly?
Because
Oh, I
she
never had
can't.
to. She's so fucking
Because she
spoiled her
can't.
entire life.
Probably because the sweep has got more fucking meat on its bones than she does.
I think the thing that does my head in is to think that Rachel Zegler is the fairest of them all. Fuck off.
Compared to Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that, don't get me wrong, Gal Gadot is stunning. Great.
Yes.
But
It's Gal
I
Gadot,
don't...
by the way.
For a Jew.
Godot, fucking
Constantly
Godot.
getting-
Go
She's
Bart.
not French. She's Israeli.
She's Israeli.
Yeah.
She's Israeli.
She's a celebrity. Well,
She's
mispronounced
Gal
it.
Gadot.
Who gives a shit?
Now I'm gonna
Already.
I'm gonna share an unpopular opinion here, which obviously this was my take on the this was fucking I need to move all of that. So this was my take on it. But is it me, or does Gal look like?
Gain a bit of weight.
No, who's the witch in?
Oh,
Hocus
yeah,
Pocus?
the red.
Najimi.
She looks like Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers.
No, yeah, that's probably not far off. Najimi in what fucking Hocus? It was Hocus Pocus, wasn't it?
Sadly coming
Probably
to
was.
theaters March
Right.
21st.
I don't know how you did this.
I'm-
I'm so impressed.
I'm gonna pull up where the oh God. Cafe Najimi. That's it. When I look at
Gesundheit.
this, I know it does feel like I just fucking sneezed out my fucking arsehole when I fucking think of these things. But when I look at that image of Gal Gadot, I can only picture this fucking heifer lump at the same age. Kind
Oh,
of thing.
her. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Catherine Najimy.
Isn't that her from Sister Act?
Yes,
The
it
soprano
is.
voice.
Yes.
It is.
Oh.
So when you look at her at a young age, they look identical. They honestly, they look identical in how they look in that image. Look at the image on the right hand side. So the IMDb page of when she was younger. That's all I can literally see when I see this advertisement for pure shite.
Huh.
Now the funny thing is that someone had a really good idea of printing off as many of these as possible and going around all the cinemas and replacing the official pictures and seeing how long it would take before someone realised.
Yes.
That'd be fucking glorious.
The thing is, though, if Disney put out a film that was called Pure Shite, I would go and watch it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
right?
Finally
best
being
marketing
honest.
ever.
Part of me actually didn't do enough work on this image because what I should have done is taken the dwarfs and made them human, normal height, rather than being obviously circus midgets. I should have just put them in just really, really tall instead.
Just replace them with Vern Troyer.
Yeah,
All of them.
Peter Spinklage.
All the
but yeah,
same person.
I wanted just to embrace this nightmare fuel.
This was my father's kingdom. A place of fair.
Oh, mate, wouldn't it have been funny if he just picked her up and just threw her into the fucking well?
That's what I thought when I saw it the first time. I was like, why don't you just throw her in the fucking well?
That's like one of those
Walk
parody
right.
things, like if a different decision had been made in a movie, and then, the end. Like in this one, it would just be him going, yoink, and then end of movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Catherine Sashimi. Yes.
Watch out for your impulsive thoughts, folks.
Yes. The dark urge in me is coming to play.
A place of fairness. But the queen changed everything.
Take him away!
Your Majesty.
What did you say?
Weird.
Weird.
Shite.
The people need some kindness.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Repulsive. I'm gonna send you something in Discord, by the way.
I hope it's not dick pics or feet pics.
Fuck off. I'm not Stasis. I'm not Stasis, okay?
That's fair enough.
Send it to you.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
It's
not
me.
you. It's me. I'm the magic mirror.
Oh, do you know what? I've just had an idea for editing this whole fucking video. It's glorious. Mate, I've just had a fucking really good idea. Do you know when it comes up with this bit and it shows this obviously it's going to show fucking Thunder Cunt instead of the Queen. What I should do is put the original Snow White in there.
No, when the face of the mirror comes up, you need to replace it with the mask of Crash Bandicoot.
No, just put Ice-T on screen and say, I got news for you.
And then start playing cat. It means you're gay.
What about those? No. What about if you put one of those trans Down syndrome guys in there? Do you remember from Down? Happy dancing on a.
Just put it crispy.
What?
Rush Hour.
Don't you remember?
Have I fucking missed something? Trans Downs.
Oh God! Here we go.
You fucking having a laugh?
Yeah, it was for happy. It was for Down Syndrome Day or like Down Syndrome Awareness. Yeah.
Is it?
And they're all standing there in a fucking row, and they're being forced to like wear this thing, and they're all being forced to say Happy Down Syndrome Awareness Day or something. Have you really not seen this?
Oh yeah,
months ago.
I've seen it on Twitter because fucking Nina shared it.
Well, this is
Chrissy Mayer and
this
all them
clearly
fucking ripped the piss out of it.
Be lucky that you missed it because God, bleh.
It's clearly saying that you guys search out for. Fucking what the fuck? I'm trying to find a decent video of it, but
I saw it because Nina replied to it and then Chrissy Mayer replied to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I immediately shit on both of them for making me see this.
What the fuck am I watching here, man?
No, it's not this one.
No, not that one. Wait, I can find it for you.
You find it. I'm going to go back
on the street.
Tommy's going to go clear his history.
Mate, I need to step out to my fucking PC.
Wow.
It was mainly on Twitter.
I'm just gonna donate this fucking PC. It's fucking contaminated now.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Fuck off.
Lovely maiden I now behold.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
The queen is evil. You must flee into the woods.
Always listen to the advice from a black man in that case.
I thought that was George Floyd for a second.
Yeah, found it. Found it.
Cheers.
I'm good at the.
Tommy,
thing.
that's clearly Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, actually,
Ubisoft borrowed him for that movie.
You could be correct. It does look like him. He just needs a fucking mighty chopper.
Personally, I don't take a lot of advice from men from Bolton, but
yeah.
Never do. It's not a good idea.
Whistle while you work. You're a giant twerp.
No?
Oh, fucking hell. She's fucking insufferable. Skippity doo dah. I want to go to this bit.
Wait till you see the dwarves, mate. Wait till you see the dwarves.
Yeah, I'm skipping to it because this shit's fucking boring.
Wait for it.
So I found the Down syndrome video and I've put it in the private chat.
I already posted it.
Did you?
Oh, no.
Yep.
He's probably posted it to me on
one for Stefani.
Yeah, because she posted it.
But this isn't that video.
Fucking hell, Smooth, you twat.
I've just clicked on the link that you provided, Hanayama, and it's taken me to something completely different.
Wait, so you have one that's even worse?
That took me 10 seconds.
That's beautiful.
Poor
Please
ass.
tell me you posted that.
Poor ass.
Okay, so
art.
Okay, so then take Jack's link. Take Jack's link.
Yes, I will take the Jacko link.
I can't believe none of you have seen this already. It's fucking horrendous. It's a pure exploitation, is what it is.
Yeah, it's massive exploration, not fucking what the fuck am I fucking listening to? Fuck.
I've never seen Jack so happy.
Mate, this is
go. Get your popcorn out.
It's his reaction.
I am putting everybody's fucking faces up for this shit because this is fucking out there.
It's so cringe and awful.
Happy World Down Syndrome Day, bitches!
Oh, that one.
Oh my god.
Happy World Down Syndrome Day!
Hey, it's Bulma.
It's Bulma.
Well, Down Syndrome Day!
What? No, so what was that one? Right, no, go back, because what was that one, right?
That's yellow face, mate.
That is pure
Right.
yellow face.
Isn't that totally fucking racist by today's standards?
It's massively fucking racist.
But I
And
guess
he even does
the person is doing it, so it's
he
okay.
even does the fucking voice.
Yeah.
He even does the voice. Happy Down Syndrome Day.
Jack, the
But
thing is,
Mario-
though, he's retarded. They won't even go after him before it.
No, you can't fucking.
Right.
How can you cancel someone who's a fucking retard?
Yeah, I can't believe they've gone after Italians.
I
like
mean,
this.
no one's fucking cancelled
Right.
me yet. I'm fucking massively retarded. Holy shit! I mean,
Keep going, because it gets more beautiful.
Happy World Down Syndrome Day.
Bye, have a good time.
Happy World Down Syndrome Day.
This last one is just it. This is where it completely peters off because he hasn't got a fucking clue what he's saying.
isn't this Elizabeth Banks' character in the Hunger Games?
I just thought it was Elizabeth.
No, it's Elizabeth Banks.
Banks. Fucking hell.
World Down Syndrome Day.
Happy World Down Syndrome Day.
Happy Syndrome Day.
Which way is it looking?
Oh my
That last one, he didn't even have a fucking clue what he was saying.
No,
just
there's
following
absolutely
what he's
no
been
way
told.
this poor fucker, and this is massive exploitation. There's no way that these guys, girls, whatever they are, there's no way they're understanding the consequences or the actions that they're undertaking here. They have been exploited for nothing more than political fucking agenda, ideology. Whoever did this, he's fucking sacking, wood chippering.
It's a UK. It's a UK corporation.
It doesn't matter. The fact that it's fucking
No,
UK
no, it
or
doesn't matter. I'm
US,
just telling you.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me it's UK, Jack, but this is fucking disgusting.
That's fucking
You know,
retarded.
apart
that's what
from
it is.
the people on the panel, I've actually worked with people with Down syndrome. In the
I did
past.
too.
And they don't really think about the things that we're thinking of. They're
No.
not thinking, "Oh, this is some exploitative trans bullshit."
No,
To them, it's just a fun day of dress up,
exactly.
Exactly.
and they'll lean into it.
Yeah.
So take your pick, Tom B. So take your pick out of any one of those 6 people and put them in the mirror instead.
The thinking.
I want the Asian / Italian one.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Is
one-
that Asian or Italian? I can't tell.
You mean the one after Bulma?
Yeah.
Exactly the Bulma one. Oh my god.
If you give me one of your Dragon Balls, I'll give you a little peek. No, please, please, no.
And then look at these, look at the state of them. Like, who trolled you, motherfuckers?
How much was the budget for this
wrong.
fucking movie again?
Look
It's
at how
fucking wrong.
high Peter Dinklage got.
On so many levels. This is. I mean, the worst thing is, apart from the really, really young one, they've basically all got exactly the same face.
The right one.
Well, the young one is Alfie Newman from Mad
Alfie
Magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, wait. Okay, wait. So, all the way on the left, and the
Robert De Niro.
No, all the way on the left.
Robert De Niro.
And the second one on the right that has the long black beard, they have the same fucking face. And the 2 chubbies in the background with the green and the red head, they have the same face.
Yeah.
You stand correct. And by the way,
rush job.
I've seen this film. It was
also,
the
wait.
Hobbit trilogy.
No, so also yellow hat and the guy
No.
in the front. No, yellow hat and the guy in the front with the glasses also have the same face.
Abe, I have to correct you on that. The Hobbit, whilst it was a poor Hobbit, is at least watchable. This shit is going to be cringe-worthy. The only people that are going to be watching this are YouTubers and creators.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to do it for hate watching and for clicks.
Stasis has to go.
Exactly. Stasis has to go. Yeah. Well,
So
technically
guys,
you have
I've
to
got
go,
to bounce. I have to bounce. So have a good one. I'm shitting on that because
And
that's
you,
going to
mate.
be a great YouTube moment of everybody. But yeah, I've got to go. Got to bounce.
The boobies.
I would say you'll find me on YouTube. You may find me at a Christmas Wonderland special event somewhere, shouting at a kid in the Midlands somewhere. So, Jack, I'll see you soon.
Nice.
But apart from that, have a good one, everyone.
You take care.
I'll catch you very soon. All right,
Later.
bye.
Later.
Hear you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.